Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
This is Sparta!
Martinez looking to throw, going deep again. This time it's caught. It's Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ready your breakfast and eat hot.
Pressure coming from Michigan State. Armstrong got a man. Westerkamp. He's to the 30-yard line. Nebraska 30 yards away from an upset. Michigan State undefeated.
This is where we fight.
Armstrong with trips to the far side, Riley to the near side. Snap back to Tommy. Being rushed, throws for Riley toward the near side. Riley, he went out of bounds. Touchdown, Riley, but he went out of bounds. The hat is cut off.
This is where they die.
Unbelievable. The Huskers have the lead with 17 seconds left.
So they're going to go for the field goal. Barrett Pickering. This is going to be from 47 yards out. He's going to have the wind with him. The kick is good.
On these shields, boys.
We're all going to get punched in the face. Some people whine about it. Some people cover up. Some people swing back.
Two receivers each way. Swordsby leads in, takes a snap, backpedals the throw. Blitz picked up. Harris went out deep right sideline. 50-50 ball. It's picked off. The black shirts with the dagger. Malcolm Hurrdat. Tempo, shotgun snap to Iola. Play fake, slant over the middle. Caught by Key. There he goes. Turbo button. Touchdown. Dane Key.
You get punched in the face, we can't cover up. We got to come out swinging.
Four wide, trips right. We're out of the gun. Browns a snap, play action, fake. Backside pressure comes, ball stripped. It's picked up with area at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Scoop and score. Touchdown, Huskers.
Spartans! Tonight, we dine in hell!
Good morning. Welcome in to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. That's our guy Shane Schillerberg on the open.
You bought yourself some time, Shane. You bought yourself some time. Now, that doesn't mean next week lay a dud. But that joker right there, let's go.
We ready to go. It's game week, game day.
Tonight we dine in hell.
Maybe I wouldn't have been a very good Spartan.
Shoot, I would have.
But whenever he said that, I was like, I'd rather dine somewhere else.
I don't know, man.
Spartans! Tonight, we dine in hell!
Just got to compete, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Well, that's one of your faves.
That's top 4 or 5 of all time.
Got 300 Gladiator.
Yeah. Don't be bringing the heads of kings to my place.
Give them nothing!
And take from them everything.
Everything!
I mean, we'll fight in the shade is just one of the coldest lines of all time.
Man, listen. Shoot, I'm ready to go now.
You ready to go? Who we playing? Who we fighting? Let's go.
Yeah, whomever.
Well, you guys got Fremont tonight, the Tigers.
We do. We need a little bounce back.
Yeah?
Yeah. We laid an egg. And
so your place or their place?
We are in Fremont.
Oh, there you go.
We are going to the Mont.
When's the last time you played out there?
Like
with any team that you've been with?
Stained, it's been a while. Handful of years.
Yeah.
I think they're out at Memorial. We'll be ready.
I've last time I was out there was playing Midland.
Yeah, our OC was charting some things. I think he's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I think they'd given up only 4 or 5 plays of 15 yards or more.
That's pretty good.
It's incredible.
Yeah. They're 4-1, right?
We couldn't do that, and never mind. never mind.
I mean,
God, you see, I got the shakes. It's crazy.
I know.
I like
ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and I was just messaging. I don't know. I just they're just some times where I'm like vibing, and I don't know, man. Sometimes people just say the right thing to you, and I was like, all right.
Kind of helps you dial in.
Yep, we got time to go to work.
There you go.
This is where we fight.
Nobody's coming to save me.
I was not feeling super dialed in while I was watching the playoffs last night.
Oh, you'll be all right.
Not really enjoying myself there.
I thought for sure you guys would mount some sort of comeback.
I thought they would at some point, yeah.
But Schlittler just was not having it.
He was dealing.
Man.
Just dealing.
And he was confident too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just tell by his body language he was rolling.
Can I ask you a question?
You have to be like, yeah.
Is it super normal for a guy to be throwing 90 miles an hour at 21 years old and then at 24 years old be throwing 101 miles an hour?
You can't get stronger.
So that's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, what's another 11 mpHs?
Yeah, nothing, right? It's no big deal.
Yeah, he was gas canning.
He was. I mean, he was unhittable, almost literally.
And when you guys think you can see that pitch up in the zone and just can't go get it,
yeah,
that's demoralizing.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's just running it right up there in your eyes.
Yeah, he's just like, here you go, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
They needed that too. Rest their bully.
Yeah, it was great, unbelievable performance. I didn't enjoy a lot of it, but
and conversely, your boys, you gonna stop messing with me
about what?
You just go to whatever, however it is, Warhorse. Just do what I tell you. Over the long haul, you will win.
You're probably right.
There's zero question.
You're probably right. You know,
I didn't have stones.
You didn't have
to tell you
line.
The money line.
Yeah,
but that line should have been 29, begging you to take the Rams, and you're like, I'll take the free money.
I don't bet against my team, so I didn't take any money there.
No, I listen. I get it.
Yeah,
I watched the Steelers Sunday morning with one eye closed.
Yeah, you're just like, ooh.
Now it's due to a lot of other things, but
oh, it wasn't the.
Nah, your boy was pissy.
I thought it was the early start.
You know, one beautiful thing. Let me tell you one beautiful thing that came out of this. Well, there's a couple, but I'm not going to get emotional. I got some messages from some people that I don't even know that were incredible.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. You just never know what anybody else is going through.
Yeah.
And I know they weren't trying to make it about them per se.
Sure.
But, I mean, I don't know. Yuri said, I'm not going to, I was about to be like, I'll let you read it. That's his business. But, you know, there just were so many.
Yeah.
That's like sometimes, you know, just yesterday, like you feel like, you know, you're creeping. I got to, Shane, that entrance.
I was going to say.
It's wild, isn't it? I'm trying to.
You juiced my guy up over here, Shane.
Yeah, I just want to, like, compete.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
I mean, I'll fight life. It's fine. You know, they were just, sometimes you just scroll.
Yeah.
And find yourself being encouraged. So, again, I know I said this yesterday, but I appreciate, you know.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever feeling bad, shoot, I'll just read Mark's tweets. MC? Shoot. That's my personal hype coach.
You got you ready to go?
Man, listen. You read his stuff. Is
that Mark Connor on Twitter?
Yeah, he puts it out there.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Plus, he thinks I'm funny, so I'll rock with him.
Well, I mean, come on
he's
now.
just being nice?
He probably does think you're funny. I just think it means he's got bad taste.
That's a bit of a problem.
Look, all of a sudden I chilled.
I was going to say you stopped twitching in a hurry.
Wow. See how that stuff is just involuntary?
It's like magic.
Look, it's just like
immediately.
Now I'm pissed again.
Now you know. See, it's
that is nuts.
It's involuntary for me too. See, it just happens.
Man. All right. Back to life.
It's gonna be like that. I guess.
Back to reality. Operation
Back
Pinburst.
to life.
Oh man, I don't need you.
To reality.
You
Who is that? Jane, do you know?
However do you want it? However do you need me? Yeah, that is
We're gonna bust out my superior Google skills.
Man. And I forget.
Oh, Soul to Soul?
Yeah.
There we go.
You know, I almost said refugees. I knew it was.
Oh, like the Fugees?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that short for refugees?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought it was just like Fuji. I don't know, like the apples.
I'm not a Fuji guy.
I'm not either.
If I'm green, I'm rocking Granny, and if I'm red, I'm going probably Honeycrisp.
Yeah, I'll go.
Although I heard Honeycrisp is
guy.
kind of hipster, and there's like better.
Is there?
It's just like the trendy thing.
It's got the good PR.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm open to it. We just had this conversation as a coaching staff because they think I'm crazy. So we were walking inside, and I keep telling them I'm not, and they know for sure.
Kobe, the Red Sox scouts didn't find Schlittler because 3 years ago he was topping out at 90 miles an hour. That's why. Like that, you want to know why they did?
That's documented.
Like that's a real thing. Like that's.
No, I know.
Like he was throwing 90.
What's Kobe? Kobe's not mad, is he?
No, he's a Yankees fan.
I know.
He was mad that I wore a Red Sox jersey ever.
Oh,
not today. We're rocking Nebraska.
Kobe's got some fandom going. I can't believe how you killed my vibe.
You were bouncing again for a second, and then it went away again. I don't know what happened.
I gotta focus.
Gotta lock in. Gotta dial in.
I guess.
Get rocking, ready to go.
Yeah. So your Niners, I love it too. Quarterback controversy? No, there's not. Mac Jones has proven it's not repeatable for him over time.
Yeah.
He can be good. He's perfect.
He's the perfect backup quarterback.
That's what you want.
He's Ryan Fitzpatrick, basically.
Are you surprised that a league that is so good like the NFL, that has so much money like the NFL, that there aren't better backups?
I am not totally surprised because I feel like there's not.
Isn't that strange? If you play like a second string quarterback, 98% of the league feels doomed.
Yeah. I don't really think I don't think there should be more because I don't even think there's 32 good starting quarterbacks. So, like, if we don't have enough for the 32, I certainly don't think we're gonna have like 48 or 64.
Like there's something I should mime right now, but I'm not.
What are we miming?
Just knock it off.
No. Yeah. I mean, I think it's harder than we think.
Yeah.
I just think it's like
apparently.
Mac Jones is a great example. He looked good for a year in New England, right?
Man, who dropped the ball on Mac Jones last night? Was it Andrews? Give me the 4 outside of the lady, the crew.
Oh, you've got the big guy, Andrew Whitworth.
Oh, it was it Whitworth? Who dropped the ball? Somebody said in Mac Jones, and of course Richard Sherman goes, who? As in Mike Jones?
Yeah.
And the dude said Mac Jones again. He didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
And Richard Sherman gave him the
little side eye.
No, it was like the not so subtle eye roll, like you dropped the proverbial ball.
Yeah, no, I think there's
and why I know I got mad at Jernigan yesterday for wearing a belt out at the practice field, but
you're not supposed to wear belts on the practice field. Listen. You're old school, like 70s, 80s coaches with those bike shorts. They were wearing belts, my guy.
I couldn't believe it. I was traumatized. And I know he felt like I was probably being a jerk, but I was like, you have on shorts with loops and a belt on the practice field. Like, knock it off.
Are they like cargo shorts?
I mean, it's just Journey. But now I forgot what I was going to say, and it was super relevant to
Mac Jones.
Fudge me.
Remember this day.
Got distracted by belts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What was wrong with Mac Jones' pants?
I don't know, man.
They were like around his bunda at one point. I'm like, you look like a heathen. Like, this is the league, man. Pull your pants up.
He looks like one of those kids that
Did you see that? So I thought he was gonna throw up.
Oh, did you?
He was kind of low key giving it the pump fake dry heave.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, he might have got rocked. But then I'm exaggerating. They weren't around his ankles, but they were around like the minimus.
Yeah.
I'm like, pull your how does that happen?
It's a good thing Joe Buck wasn't calling the game.
And I get it.
He's disgusting.
Hey, I think it's just popular to hate on Joe Buck.
I think he's fine.
Buck is fine. I mean, he's there's plenty of guys to get
on.
Oh,
for sure. I was just making
plenty of guys to get on. Freaking Brady,
I was just making a Randy Moss
Carl
joke.
Ravitch sucks. Oh, how was the reincarnation of Moss last night? Did you enjoy that?
No, not that much.
He was yours.
Which one? Oh, Bourne?
Yeah, out there looking like Moss. I mean, what were they doing?
I have no idea. Maybe they forgot who he was. Maybe they forgot he was on the roster. He just got signed like a week and a half ago.
He looked like Moss.
I mean, he wasn't like out there mossing people. He was all right. No, he had a good night. I'm kidding.
No, you're exactly right.
This dude went from crybaby. You reminded me of like Ernie on Bert and Ernie. Actually, you'd be Bert because he was the whiner. Your team balls out, and you're picking apart.
I'm cranky.
You're picking apart a guy that has had about as good a career as I have. He played out of his gourd, and you're like,
he did.
Oh, that was okay.
I'm
like you got a dub at SoFi in a divisional game,
and they should not have won that.
And
game.
You're like whiny. What do you mean? They controlled 3/4 of it.
I mean, going into it with what they were, they shouldn't have won that game. Like the way it played out, they should have. And I thought they were going to blow it.
Get off the stage.
What do you want from me, man? I'm still cranky about the Red Sox.
No, so here's the thing, KB. I'll keep it a buck with you. He used to be bad, but he's like I'm talking about JB.
Yeah.
He's had a resurgence.
I think he's fine. I don't mind him.
Like he's kind of funny again, and I think and it's gotten the best of us. Like I think that his
he was
personal
going through
life
a bad
got,
divorce.
Yeah.
Like
plus, I heard hair plugs hurt. Let me stop.
he didn't do the trip to Turkey. Get the transplant.
I shouldn't have talked to Ducci out of Pisons today. See, that got me in a good mood.
Feeling some kind of way.
Yeah, but hair plugs hurt.
I don't know.
And he was going through the divorce, but it's like Nickelback or Creed or who's boy that Mike Riley hung out with from Chicago. Chance the Rapper. It's just like popular to hate on.
To like pile on.
Yeah. He's I don't know.
I think he's fine. I really don't mind him.
Did you not hear him the other night during that drumming?
Which one?
Dude was singing.
Oh. He seems a little looser than he used to.
and Aikman's stiff.
I know. Aikman is like, he's a robot.
And I believe me, I didn't feel like laughing. I chuckled.
Yeah.
I was like, is Mr. Tight Pants like singing?
Joe Buck, what are we doing right now, bud?
I don't know, but if you watch Browning play,
I was like, you might have to find some ways to entertain yourself as well.
Brownie. The dude was like, this guy is horrible.
I kind of actually, I can't remember what podcast he told it on. But
who's he?
Joe Buck.
Yeah.
So he told a story. This is several years ago at this point. He was talking about kind of going through his divorce. And so he like took a trip somewhere to like kind of take some time away. I think it was like Mexico or somewhere. And apparently he got a hold of like a bad pot brownie or something. And he tells the story about like trying to get back to the hotel in like a cab in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it really endeared me to him. I was like, that's really funny.
I told you about that dream a couple weeks ago where I couldn't get home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any pot. But
you didn't have any bad pot brownies?
No, which was weird too, because I don't even think I was drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, was I? Do you know you can't read in dreams? So I mean, whatever they gave me, I just had. But
is that a thing? You can't read in dreams?
I can't remember any words if I'm fortunate enough to dream.
I've never really thought about that.
I don't think you can read.
I can't read. I don't know. I mean, now that you say it, I can't remember.
I don't dream enough.
I'll say you don't remember a lot of your dreams anyway, though, right?
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember Tony being mean to me.
Who, TG?
No, Veland.
Oh.
I asked to use his phone.
No. Is that all he said?
He said, can't you see I'm busy? I'm like, you guys are eating Chinese on the couch. She'll be fine.
No. He's busy.
No, he's not. I'm in duress. And this dude tosses me a phone that has like extendo buttons. I'm like, how am I supposed to use this?
It's got like the big like old person buttons.
That was a stupid dream. It really was.
I'm surprised you got more than like 3 words out of Dream Tony Veland.
Well, that's about the minimum. I just talked to him the other day, though. The dude's funny, even when he's not trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like my you see the folks at Nebraska City? They hooked me up.
I do. Yeah, I was I thought they might.
No, I got a question.
What's up?
I'm gonna keep my composure because I love the guy. But he asked a lot of tough questions. I thought yesterday's stop in Nebraska City was fantastic. We got into like personnel packages and the dilemmas between, wanting to run the ball versus I did this exercise. It's pretty cool. I can't really do it here because I need to write. Although these people are smart enough.
I have a whiteboard I can get you.
So
there's one in the closet over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you want me to go grab a whiteboard? We can just hold it up to the camera. I think you can see it from here.
So we just did this exercise because everybody's like run the damn ball and they look at Michigan State and the statistics and whatever, right? And I'm saying, okay, I explained personnel, 10, 11, 20, 21, 22. And they just kept firing off these good questions. And so then I was like, okay, like I get it, right? Let me tell you why you pay offensive coordinators a lot of money. So we went through and we put all the best players, who they thought the best players were. And it was pretty much a consensus, right? It was 21, it was 15, it was 2, it was 6, it was 13, 44. Got some 10s. Somebody said 18. I got an O-line guy that said 51. And so I said, hey, let me tell you what the dilemma is with what you want versus who you think your best players are. So we just did process of elimination. We did tick marks. I'm like, okay, if we get in this personnel, like who comes off?
Who are you taking off the field?
Man, it was fantastic. And even Dookie Clint was like, man, those are my favorite. I love those. And was that funny?
I think he just likes it when you say Dookie Clint.
No, he's so cool. He because his son worked at Pison.
Yeah.
So Dookie Clint was. And somehow he got home the same time I did. Like he passed me coming from, and I took a different way because 75 rots. So I had to go. I went up to Beatrice.
Oh yeah.
And came down 144th heading north. And he was getting off on the exit the same time I was, and I was like, "How are you here?"
How many people like travel out to Nebraska? Is it a lot of like Omaha people that go out there?
I know of? Just Dookie Clinton, Terry,
just a couple.
does the heads.
Okay.
Because Terry lives right around the corner.
Yeah, I know. He stopped by and dropped heads off before.
Yeah. Dude knows more than I do. He needs to do this job. Sometimes I ask him, I'm like, how'd you know that? He's like, oh, it was on Facebook. I was like, I don't know. Only FBI knows football. Justin's got my attention. I just see the word, and all of a sudden
Yeah, Juan asked what your guys' drink of choice was.
So I'm beginning to think Juan's just jerking my chain.
Yeah, I think he's having fun.
He had me.
I know he got you for a second.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I need a friend.
You got lots of friends, DB. We can be friends if you want.
No.
No? All right. Well.
No.
If you weren't so picky about friends, maybe you'd have more.
No. Hello, friends. I told you I like JR though from the jump. You see what his drink of choice is?
Yeah. Although I would like some context here. If it's straight vodka, rocks, what are we doing?
What would it be for me?
Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like to dilute good alcohol, as you say.
No sense in wasting. None at all. But anyway,
unless you're diluting it with more alcohol.
So we're having correct. When I want to water it down, you just put a seltzer,
in there. It's less alcohol.
The math would make. Ask anybody in the chat.
No, that math doesn't math, brother.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It's less concentrated. There's more overall alcohol.
It's not true.
Yes, it is.
It's not true.
Okay, chat. If you have,
you don't have to do this.
If it was a tequila or vodka.
I would never put anything in tequila.
Okay, so he had a glass of vodka on the rocks.
Yeah,
and he watered it down with a seltzer, also with alcohol in it. Correct.
But
less percentage by volume.
Correct.
Okay, so your overall alcohol was more. Your concentration of alcohol was less.
Yeah. So therefore, I could have drank longer.
Maybe, but it's not less alcohol.
You sure it is?
No, it's not. You can't add alcohol to alcohol and end up with less alcohol.
Are you old enough to have had frozen concentrate like juice?
Yeah. The orange juice?
Yeah.
Had it in the freezer with the little Minute Maid things, and you like pop the top off and dump it in the canister.
Yeah, you would like if you wanted just the concentrate.
Yeah.
Versus watering it down, you lessen the taste.
Lessen the taste, not the content.
No, so you're adding non-alcohol components to alcohol.
So you've got less concentration of alcohol, but you have more actual alcohol.
TK, can you just let me have my this like can I just do me for once?
So like your example with the orange juice would be if I took the orange juice concentrate
and put orange juice in it.
Yes, and you've got more orange juice.
Well, you have less concentrate.
But less exactly, less concentrated,
yeah.
but more orange juice.
Yeah, my math works.
There is more orange in the juice than there was before.
All right, now Mays actually is writing a paragraph, so he might. Okay. Mays said it best.
That's what I said. I said it's less concentrated. That's lowering the percentage of alcohol in the drink.
Yeah.
But you've got more overall alcohol. You have more alcohol total. You have less percentage of the volume.
The vodka's alcohol. I have to read this like. No, I don't even know, Mays. I'm just reading it. Dilution. Vodka alcohol content is spread across a larger volume of liquid by the addition of the seltzer, lowering the percentage of alcohol in the final drink.
The percentage, not the total.
So what gets in it? So let me ask my man, Justin. I trust him. You're basically making the pint that is 50% into 2 pints that's 25%.
Except that would be if you diluted it with no extra alcohol. So you're taking it.
I like Justin's explanation, and I like Mace because it supports me.
No, it doesn't. Mace does not support you.
Kind of.
No, it doesn't.
What did I tell you? Time out.
You said the end game was to be able to drink longer.
Yes.
Which is true. And Johnny the Pig says, he goes, it's less alcohol per sip, so you get more sips. Which is correct, but it is.
I don't care about the sip. I'm trying to just pace myself.
Time. But it is more total alcohol. That's my only point. It is less concentrated.
Dang, I didn't know Kobe cussed.
Yeah.
Kobe's he's kind of got mean-spirited. He used to be kind.
To you?
Oh, that's true. That's true. He was clowning me one day over it raining on my smoker, and he hasn't been nice since.
Haas has it correct. Total consumed alcohol is more. Concentration per drink is less.
Well, then my desired outcome is correct.
That's fine.
Why I do it.
You got your desired outcome, but I'm also correct that it's more total alcohol.
That's fine. I'm riding.
It's fine.
I'm riding with Haas. I'm riding with Mays, and I'm riding with JR.
Yeah, I don't think you're riding with Caden anymore.
That's my dude.
He says, long story short, you are adding more alcohol, not rocket science.
Dang, why do you have to do it say it like that?
And then he got you with the lull.
Sorry.
Shane thought that was funny.
Caden's still my boy. Even though technically he's older than me.
I was gonna say, I don't think he's any of our boys.
He could be mine.
Well, I mean, he might be like our fun uncles or something, you know?
We ain't that much older than me.
Well, I don't know. Uncles can be like weird age gaps and stuff sometimes.
Oh, I know.
You never know what's going on. Family dynamics are different sometimes.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law actually has an uncle that's younger than he is. Because his like grandparent got remarried.
I'm glad you guys just take the opportunity to laugh at me.
No, we're laughing with you.
No, you're not. They might.
I always am. I'm always Team DB. I'm going to have a shirt made that just says Team DB.
Dude, your Tim Johnson effect is incredible. You just tell horribles. Crazy.
Would you be mad if I got a Team DB shirt?
Yes.
Why?
Weird.
A big defensive backs guy. Secondary, baby. Let's go.
Wait till you see them tomorrow.
I hope so. I hope I'm right about everything. Always. You're mad. You're mad because you think I'm more right than wrong.
So anyway, my man's walk-off, he goes, and he's got a great voice. I think he used to do radio. He's an Auburn guy.
Like Jack, great voice? Jack Grady, our guy?
Different.
Okay.
Jack's is like kind of sultry and
yeah, got like that soulful.
Yeah.
Tired.
He sounds like he should call football games.
Name nameless.
Yeah.
I think he did used to do broadcasting.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's got this. It's like a rich, deep voice. He's like, I got a question, and they're always hard questions. So it's like 12:59, and I owed him like 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. He's like, this may be a great question to end on. And I was like, and we're rolling, right? We're in personnel. We're talking scores, like how Nebraska's going to do this thing. I was on the dry erase board. Like it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what Matt Verzal meant to you? Hey, how about not?
It's like, nah, don't do that today.
But I couldn't freeze. I was competitive right there.
Yeah.
Gamification.
Get through it.
And I said, you're not going to get me on that. I immediately went Jerry Maguire. I'm not going to cry, Roy. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah.
So I braced myself. I gritted my teeth. Took a deep breath. And I answered the question. #pass. I have exercised the demons.
Hashtag like you passed the test or you passed on the question.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Shout out me.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job.
And I drove the speed limit the whole way home.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I used cruise control.
That's where I think
I was not in a hurry. Your boy played music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I played music and just got my mind right.
What, we get a little Kirk Franklin yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Good call.
That seemed like might have been the mood.
I would have played Imagine Me.
Okay.
You know that song?
Who's it by? Is it by Kirk?
Oh, my gosh. Are you special?
I don't know who Imagine Me is by.
It's Kirk Franklin.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you like, I didn't listen to Kirk Franklin, so I would have listened to this instead. I didn't know if you were changing subjects on me.
That's not what I did.
Okay. Well, I mean, I am special, but my mom says I am.
TK, my little leverage friend, you are not my friend anymore. I'm not listening to you for the next 3 hours. Should I let Kobe back in good graces?
I don't know.
DB, you got so mad at me and X over that smoker video. You were arguing with me. Nah, Kobe, I wasn't, man. My tone.
TK says, I became an uncle at 5 years old. The plight of being the youngest kid in a big Catholic family. There you go.
Man, so
you also get some like remarriages and stuff sometimes. Like that's when it gets like really wonky with the ages.
Yeah, I have a player that I coach that I care a ton about, and I made the mistake of asking him what was going on one day, and he walked me through kind of his deal. Lots of adults. I was like, shoot, man.
A little messy.
I said, you good? There he is. Man.
That's the like I
was overwhelmed.
I'm laughing because I know exactly, like I've been in that spot where you're ask a pretty innocuous question. You're like, oh hey man, what's going on?
But I really like him. And then this dude shows up every day.
Yeah.
And is not going to play.
Yeah.
And
that'll serve him well in life though.
Well, I came up, he of course got a nickname.
Yeah.
Because he wears a
headband,
but it ties.
Oh, okay.
So I call him Danielson.
Okay, yeah.
Which of course is kind of over their heads unless they know Cobra Kai.
Sure, yeah.
So we chop it up, and ever since then he's like one of my besties.
Yeah, I call those the Nadal headbands because he always wore
Rafa.
Yeah. He always wore the tie ones.
So my guys try to get out of some conditioning post practice, and I've been asking hockey mascot questions. But I have one of the guys that knows hockey pretty well, so he answers all the questions.
Yeah.
So guess what we're doing now?
Which ones?
Tennis. First name, last
name.
Oh,
let's go. I would crush that. We'd never run again.
Remember, running is not a punishment. You've earned the right to be in shape.
Hey, I think Zach's got your back, by the way.
Zach? That says out of breath Brian.
No, he's on the stream.
Where's my man Zach?
Says,
the Lego Maniac?
I think after that statement, Rob, I'm going to go with DB on the whole alcohol argument.
Thank you, Zach.
I mean, you can be wrong. That's fine.
Well, I'm Team Zach.
It's like you say all the time. You could choose to be miserable. You could choose to be wrong. That's fine.
You cannot use portions of my lifers against me.
I think I just did.
Just making up the rules as you go along.
100%. That's the story of my life.
No, we're riding with Zach. Period.
Husker Gnome says TK big Catholic as in over 10 or just modernly big. So I'm guessing like 5. When I was a nanny, I nannied for a modernly big Catholic family.
And they had 6?
They had 5 kids.
5?
Yeah.
We have 5, and I didn't even know what Catholicism was.
That's because you were.
Why is that fun?
Because you were an AME.
What does that stand for?
African Methodist Episcopalian.
Very good.
I almost messed it up. I almost said American again.
I was born in America, technically.
I know. That's why I was like, listen, we're in America. It might stand for America. I don't know.
What a jackwagon.
I wasn't even doing it on purpose. I literally had to I had to take a beat. Like, wait, was American the joke or was that the real answer?
Are you funny?
I mean,
like, why are you laughing so much?
Because it was a funny process that happened in my head. Because it was, you know what I'm laughing about is like,
your stupidity.
I got so far into the bit, I was like, I don't know which one's real anymore.
Wow.
TK says modernly big.
I'm not messing with TK's on punishment. put TK in the corner.
You never put TK
Well,
in the corner.
he didn't even give it context. Robbie's right.
I mean, I am right.
Out on TK.
We're both right. You get to drink for longer, and there is more alcohol.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Drink for longer and more alcohol. That's W's all over the place.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Thank you, Captain. I did.
Coming up on the show today, we've got Guy Rosenberg at 7:45, the head football coach at Elkhorn South. That's a pretty good football team they got over there.
Yeah, we got them
on the off of 204th Street. At 8 o'clock, we got Tim Verghese from inside Nebraska, and at 9, we will talk to Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. I'm trying to decide. I think I might try and go out to Miller North Lincoln East tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it might be competitive. Said might have a chance for a W.
Who said? You didn't say he.
Sautter. Sautter did. I was texting him last night, so I was trying to see. I mean, listen, I didn't want to show up for like a Papio South situation, so just wanted to see if he thought it was going to be competitive at least for me. So.
Oh, okay.
I
got you.
Might try and get out to Miller North Lincoln East tonight.
Oh, do you?
You know,
go see something you can support.
I would like to see a.
Were you talking to the boss?
Would like to see a Mustangs W.
Were you going right to the top of the school?
No, I was
somebody else.
I was talking with Sautter.
Oh, why?
I wanted to get good perspective on both teams. You know,
you could have waited till 9 o'clock and then been disappointed.
I was trying to make my plans for the evening.
You got plenty of time. You've done a 180 last minute.
I have. I've done a couple.
That's fine.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You know, I like to make last minute decisions sometimes.
That's fine.
You gotta listen. I'm not.
Juan, that's not true.
No offense. I'm not driving out to Fremont.
I'm
tonight.
betting 1,000 on shrimp, Juan.
TB is often right, but not about shrimp or alcohol. Correct.
It's not. The shrimp was fine.
Okay.
Shane, do you want to get to out of breath, Brian, and not take a break before Coach Rosenberg?
I do want to get to out of breath, Brian.
We should take a break though at some point because otherwise Austin Rico.
Why are you so worried about? Is Austin gonna whoop you or something? Do you need a spanking?
They're gonna get so mad at me. You don't have to go back to the office and have them yell at you.
He just glossed you, Mr. Ravi's neighborhood yesterday,
Yeah,
and you're cool with him.
We could take a short break.
Let's get to out of breath, Brian, first. So we'll take a short break right after before we get to Coach Rosenberg. All right, Brian, what do we got going on, buddy?
Well, fellas, I'm glad y'all talking about alcohol this morning. Because I thought that you might, and the rest of your people that like to wear them ugly Boston Red Sox shirts might want some slit malt liquor this morning. I know you got a taste for it. I know you got a taste for it. I know you do. It was bad.
Not a chance I'd go anywhere near Schlitz. Do they even still?
This is just for Red Sox fans today, Damon. This is for Red Sox
do
fans.
They still make Schlitz?
This is just for Red Sox fans. When you got a cheap-looking team like that, you get cheap liquor. So we got Schlitz. That's what you got. That's what you're going to get. Now, also, Damon, I did survive that bludgeoning yesterday against Elkhorn South.
Hey, they're good. They're good. They run the rock, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they run the rock. I like the team. I like the way that I've been liking a lot of high school football this year. I go out there, and even though you guys have heard me enough, I like the sport of football more than I like just individual teams. So
no, I hear you.
Just see,
I hear you.
Your teams get together, work, and come to a common goal, especially with football when people don't really understand. Like, man, you pushing all game each other, you get tired over that time and period, and it's a real hard game. So I really appreciate that, watching that. But speaking of that, ever since the loss to Michigan, right before that game was over, I just felt like when we comes to the next game against Michigan State, Michigan State's about to get it, because I feel like we just did some little things that can be improved.
It appears they appear to be a pretty, I don't know what this means, but they're not in a great mood. So I don't know what that means, but they're definitely dialed. I'll say that.
So I'm looking for. I think I am going to go ahead and put my money on Nebraska to cover this week, because I think Michigan State's about to get
What is it? 10 and is it still 10.5?
Yes.
All right,
Shit,
buddy.
I'm gonna change mine. I might change mine up, alternate mine.
Listen,
11 and a half.
After you win, bring Ravi a Schlitz. I want to see him celebrate.
I will.
Losing
All right,
the Schlittler. That's close enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ravi,
don't bring that Red Sox shirt on to the show for the next year.
I'm gonna start putting only Red Sox hats in front of the camera.
All right, B. Have a good one.
I told you I'll make a. You too.
Thanks. We're in trouble.
Why?
Good thing we're talking to Coach Rosenberg. He's fine. He's got some sense at least.
I know. Ain't nobody else on this show got any sense?
Speak for yourself.
Except me.
A terrible show.
We're going to talk to Guy Rosenberg, Elkhorn South head coach, coming off a big win last night. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Let's Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I just think we look different, and I think it's just been fun to see how 5 new pieces can fit into our system and into our culture, but also understanding we have such a fun and good core that comes back. And so just being able to build on that success of last year, and like I kind of mentioned before, like we got a taste of what it's like to play in March, and now like giving people let's go win in March, and like let's make that the standard, and like let's host games at PBA, and let's have some fun with that. And so super excited about what this team can do starting this month. Very crazy. 4 years flies by. I think when they tell you and like the days are long, the years are short. Now sitting here, it's like amen to that. So exciting. I always say I'm living an answered prayer. So it's been awesome.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. It's the Friday Coach's Corner.
This is a process that we're going through. And although we're looking for the winning edge, shortcuts aren't one of them.
Hello? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Can you believe they called that play?
I formation, quick 141.
94. Fullback banana, hot right.
Round left, wide, nasty, 16 lead pass.
Just what were those coaches thinking?
They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
On the Friday Coach's Corner.
Hey, the spot! He's up here, sir.
You misplaced the line of scrimmage, you bunch of dummies.
It's the Friday Coach's Corner.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Elkhorn South head football coach Guy Rosenberg. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
Doing great. Always great to be on with you guys.
Coach, man, congratulations on the win last night.
Hey, thanks, Damon.
Hey, you guys, it's amazing. It's fun watching you guys. I tell you this almost every time I see you. It never gets old to watch. Like, you got to walk us through a little bit how you maintain such consistency. And it kind of looks the same. It wears on you as an opponent, but you guys appear to embrace it and have fun doing it. And it's like you know what it looks like, and it's still hard to handle anyway. Like, you got to walk me through that.
Well, I'm just really proud of just our guys are getting coached at all levels. I think is where the consistency comes from. Freshman A and B and reserve and JV and just developmental program where we're working with those guys all the way through. So they're all learning the same philosophy and the same discipline and the same fundamentals and schemes. And I think that's just where that consistency comes from every year. And we always just talk about building a program, not a team. And I think that's where the consistency comes from, and the trickle down effect of having great player leaders, and they show the younger guys what it looks like. And then so when it's the next generation's turn, they know what the expectations are, and then they pass those on. And I think that's why we've been able to have a sustainable model of success.
Coach,
and again, I think yes, go ahead.
That's pretty cool because we talk a lot about the difference between programs and teams and how you want it to be repeatable. What does that look like for your guys when you're kind of walking them through the program versus like an isolated year?
Well, I think too, just putting a big emphasis on playing more than starting. We rotate guys systematically. Our guys learn both sides of the ball, and I think that gives us the best chance to get the most deserving players on the field and the most knowledgeable players on the field, of them learning the complete game. And I think again, just that sustainability of that the years change, the expectations don't, and just wanting that consistency from because that's not our goal, right? We just don't want to have it be like the Miami Marlins in baseball, when they used to have a bunch of teardowns and fire sales, and you're great for 1 year, and then it's a rebuilding cycle. So that's our goal, is to every year have a base camp close to the top of Everest, and then within that framework be working to get to the top. And I think another thing that big believer of, hey, you build your program to beat the top 3 teams that you need to get through to the top. And also we talk a lot about the hillside. I guess it's something for me. I would say, hey, if somebody was watching our practice from the hillside, or if somebody came and sat in the stands and was watching our game, what are they going to say about our team? I've wanted to have a physical fingerprint. We're wanting them to say, hey, well, I don't know a whole lot, but I know that that's a real physical football team out there. Or, hey, I can tell that that's a team that plays with poise, or I can tell that that's a team, you can tell that they're unselfish and they care about their teammates. And so again, I think those are all things that lead to that sustainability from year to year.
Coach, when you've got a really special player in Jaden Sutko, right? But you talked about kind of the process and what you desire for your entire team and the learning process and everything there. How much do you have to guard against yourself being like, well, we could probably just hand that guy the ball every time and be fine?
Right. I mean, I do think that's right. You've got to have a complete offense and have a balance of capability. And I guess something I want to say too along those lines is, and we've been fortunate different years, whether it's Cole Ballard or Moses Bryant, to sometimes have a guy that's a real, scoring a lot of touchdowns and getting a lot of carries. And I think that it sounds kind of strange, but it takes a special type of kid and a special type of team to have one player that's scoring a big majority of the touchdowns, because I think that the other players need to have the mindset that I need to be ready to step up and make the play when it's my turn. And I think it also has to take a humble team first kid where that there's not resentment by the other guys on the team. Are like, hey, coach, I wouldn't mind getting one of them too, And so I think that it takes, it has to be the humble kid that's scoring those touchdowns, and it has to be an unselfish team that's like, hey, I'm gonna put aside my personal goals for the team's success, and I know that when my chance comes, that I'm gonna make it. And it's just everything all works together, right? We want to have the system where that if somebody's overplaying and taking away our running game, well, then we have the capability to strike in other ways. And I've also been just so impressed too with Jaden as a leader. He's always one of those guys that's right there on the sideline, taking enjoyment in other people's success and encouraging them. And I always even kind of tell a story that Connor Riley that stops through to recruit from Kansas State. I tell our players every year about a time that he said that he was out recruiting, and a lot of times those schools wanting a chance to see players compete in other sports. And there was a guy that they were recruiting, I think it was a linebacker there at Kansas State, and they went to see him play basketball. And so they go to watch the basketball game, and this kid, hey, he's a great ball handler, great shooter, but then they watch him play defense, non-existent. Gets toward the end of the game, they're way ahead. A guy that's pretty far down on their bench for this team hits the three-pointer. Everybody up on the bench is celebrating except for the kid that they were there to recruit. And they see him just sitting there with his arms crossed. And they walked out of the gym and said, that's not our type of guy. We don't want that guy. So I think that's a key thing for just that unselfish attitude that we want within our team. And Coach Brian Vance does a great job for us that, we're real intentional on leadership. Legacy by James Kerr. We have a senior book club and just talk. I think a lot of kids want to lead, but sometimes say that they're not sure what it looks like. What's it mean to be a leader? And so I think that's another thing that's really helped us to be sustainable.
God, there's like 6 degrees. I love it. The book thing always gets me too. There's a lot of overlapping similarities in terms of what we try to embrace. The other thing that I can see firsthand, just from coaching against these guys so long, especially like in that sophomore class, the same age as my kiddo, you have such a competitive bunch. I'm only I know you don't like to like single out, but I'm only specifying that sophomore group because I just know them so well. Right. You have to you gotta appreciate how like the competitive spirit seems to be coming back. And kind of young people, right? I know we get a bad label, and kids aren't this these days, and kids aren't that these days, and we often forget that they're being reared and coached by someone, right, or parented by someone. So there's some onus there. But you guys are a real competitive bunch. That has to lend itself to the kind of environment you're trying to create for your football team, doesn't it?
Right. I mean, I think that ethical competition at its highest level is, I think that's, and particularly in a group setting, a team setting where everybody is all working together. I mean, that's what makes societies great. And so I think that that's the most important trait that teams can have and individuals can have. And I think too that that kind of gets back to that whole hillside idea on there. If somebody watching practice or somebody watching a game, I've usually found over the years too that people that want to tell you all the time how competitive they are usually really aren't that competitive. It's the ones that don't have to say it. I mean, you know that, just like you talked about from being around and seeing this the groups compete against each other, right? The guys that are truly competitive as a group or as an individual, they don't have to tell you about it. You can sit there on the hillside and watch for about 5 minutes and say these guys really get after it, and they take pride. And so I think that's Coach Pabin, our co-defensive coordinator, talks about a lot of times. Hey, I don't want to see what the scoreboard says. What's the film show? Turn on the film, and that's gonna show what you need. And we're just real big believers too, I guess, in the idea of the dash. Like that. Hey, that every time you're playing the game, that you've got the score that's up on the scoreboard, the score that shows up online the next morning. But what's the dash like between those numbers? Because sometimes I think that you can have the score is really lopsided, but the dash really isn't a whole lot to be proud of. And other times you might have where, hey, that it's a close game that maybe it's closer than the score indicates, or who knows, maybe even end up on the losing end of the score. But if you can be proud of that dash and the competition and the physicality and the team first attitude that fits between those numbers, that I think that's you can walk up the hill knowing that you did your best. And to me, that's something too, where you were talking about competition and people shying away from it. I think sometimes people shy away from it because they want to have an excuse if they don't win. I think to me, that's the ultimate encourage for competitors is, hey, you know what, we're going to dump everything we got out of the bucket. And sometimes in life, it might not be enough. And a lot of people, they aren't willing to put themselves out there like that because they'd rather have an excuse why something didn't go well. So I think that's something I've always really been proud of our players for that. And that just comes with them being great kids from great families and taking pride in not only themselves, but something bigger than themselves, the team. And so very proud of our guys.
Coach, a lot of really good stuff in there. Want to ask you one more, a little bit more football-centric question on this one, although maybe it's not, depending on your answer. Where is your team improved the most in a way that you weren't necessarily expecting so far this year?
Well, I guess just in all three phases, I guess just been. I guess we just talked about that constant improvement. I guess there hasn't been any unexpected areas of improvement. I think just as a coaching staff, we've been really pleased just with the across the board improvement, and that shows that you got coachable kids. I mean, I think that to me that's the biggest testament is we want to be significantly better at the end of the season than we were at the beginning, and I think that takes being coachable not only when a coach is talking to you, but when he's talking to somebody else that plays your position, or who knows, maybe it's a film session and you're not actually in there for that rep, but that you're listening to what the expectations are and the corrections. And I think that just when there's that accumulation of attention to detail and accumulation of physicality throughout the season, that's when you can really do special things. And we've got a long ways to go, but I think that we're positioning ourselves to finish the season strong. And I guess that's one of those things people remember November, that September, October, that's great, but you remember November, so that we want to make sure that we build ourselves for the long haul within the season, and we're ready to peak at the right time.
Coach, to that, I'll get you out on this, is you kind of just progressively are building and you're playing it 1 week at a time. You like the way that your schedule kind of shakes out to fit kind of the journey that you want your team to be on? Because sometimes, we try to say that the scheduling doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, if we're being honest, it has its pros and cons. Do you kind of like the way you're ramping up as you get ready for this final third?
Yeah, I do think that it's all about, like we talked about, maximizing opportunity. And again, hey, the opponents and the level of the opponent is going to change from week to week, and we can't really control that, but really just have to control. I mean, the most controllable time of the whole week is practice. I mean, I think that, that practice has got to be great. And I know that you guys believe in the same thing, that that's when you have the most control over what you can get done. You can control the matchups. You just have control over the whole situation. And I think that it's just maxing that out so that whoever the opponent is that given Thursday or Friday, that you can have the best dash that you produce out of that. And hey, if you keep stacking quality dashes, then you usually end up being pretty good at the end of the year.
That is Elkhorn South head coach Guy Rosenberg, somebody that knows a little something about being good at the end of the year and being the best version of themselves in November. So, Coach, best of luck to you as you get through the final third of the regular season. And we appreciate you talking to us as always.
Always good, Coach.
Thanks
Never
very
disappoint.
Much.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks, Damon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
That is Guy Rosenberg, head coach of the Elkhorn South Storm.
Take a look at that 10-10 matchup.
I would say they got the big win last night against Omaha Burke. They've got a big one next week against your Westside Warriors. So that'll be I might have to go to that one. That might be a good one to go to.
I think we're at their place too.
Well, Elkhorn High's place.
Well, wherever. We're not at home.
Yeah, 204th Street, wherever it is.
God, believe me, I know where that location is.
It's like, Buell's not like Miller North's place or Miller West place. It's Miller South place. Wow. It just is what it is. I mean, it says Miller South right on school right there. We'll be back with Tim Verghese.
You woke up on one, didn't you?
Listen, 49ers got to win. That's a plus.
Yeah, be positive.
Probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. We'll take it. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska coming up next on Hurrdat Sports.
I mean, I think recruiting, it's a little bit different for everybody, you know, in terms of different players see different things. I think the vast majority of, at least, the feedback that I get when I talk to people, the type of player that we're talking to, and then the feedback I get from people that, you know, are in that world is that, you know, we're obviously making some noise with people. They're coming and seeing the game day experience. They're seeing the fan base. They're seeing the facilities. They're seeing the inner workings of the program. I think we're doing a good job of showing kind of what the ilk of what we do is. So I think our guys are. I think the players that we're recruiting are excited about us. You know, it's just there's a lot more factors these days. A lot more goes into it. So we have to make sure we check all the boxes. But I think we're continuing to attract the right people. And I think when you look at over the last 2 years, the freshmen that we brought in, you know, a lot of them have played, and B, the impact they've made, and some haven't made an impact yet, but they're going to. So I think we've done a good job evaluating, and we'll continue to do so.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. Who's that?
I don't have any idea why that's happening.
But there we go. We're back now with Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska joining us now. Tim, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, how we doing, guys?
We're pretty good, TV. Pretty good. What have you kind of? I'm curious to see what you think the tenor is. I was talking about narratives yesterday, but before I speculate too much, what is your pulse, or what vibe are you getting coming out of Nebraska for this week? Like, if you were going to kind of lump it up.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of just kind of, it's very business. It's a lot of, I think there was some talk in September coming out of the Cincinnati game and building that confidence. And now it's like, okay, you got punched in the mouth. You saw what it looks like. Let's go show someone else what it looks like now that, we've seen it. Because, I think this staff recognizes that, this Michigan State team is not the Michigan team they faced 2 weeks ago. They have some advantages they didn't have against Michigan. And, there's obviously going to be conditions that affect tomorrow's game, but I think they're pretty confident in the plan. I think there's a quiet confidence, I think, emanating from the program right now.
Tim, as you look back at that Michigan game, I think a lot of people are worried about seeing another mobile quarterback, another guy that can make some plays with his legs. I would even argue that Childs is maybe a little bit more dynamic with his legs at this point in his career than Underwood is.
Oh, yeah.
As you kind of look at this matchup, where do you think that's going to give Nebraska problems versus, hey, some of the other personnel maybe not be up to par to what Michigan was, so Nebraska may or may not struggle with it in the same way?
Yeah, I actually think so. I think Aiden and this Michigan State offense is actually like the threat of his legs is what I think people were worried about with Bryce versus, what actually happened with Michigan, where it was Bryce's legs and his ability to kind of move around behind the line of scrimmage and extend plays that could create opportunities downfield. I actually think that's a bigger concern with Childs than it is with Underwood, just because of my belief in the receivers at Michigan State. I think both Amari Kelly and Nick Marsh can win one-on-one matchups. I think Nick Marsh in particular is one of the better receivers Nebraska is going to see this season. They call him Baby Megatron coming out of high school, for a reason. Like he's big, he's physical, he can go up and get it, and he can create after the catch. And Michigan State does a really good job of these kind of like sluggo, or like I would even say just like kind of double move concepts where they, it allows Childs to kind of break out of the pocket or kind of run or kind of extend plays and still have options downfield. And so that's what I'm really worried about. I really think Childs is a runner in the open field. He's not the power runner that Sorsby is. He doesn't have the top end speed and size combination that Underwood does. I really think Nebraska is going to have a better luck like wrangling this guy in space and eliminating explosive runs. But it's what he's able to do in terms of extending plays and running around behind the line of scrimmage and creating when things break down that I'm more worried about this week.
So I like Marsh. Obviously, I think he's a 2-day guy when the draft comes around, probably. Kelly is the smaller speed demon. When you look at extending plays and things like that, where does Michigan's handoff run game fall in line for concerns as it relates to the off-script stuff that Michigan State is capable of?
No, you're talking Michigan State's handoff game, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think their backs are big and physical. I'm not necessarily like I think they're Big Ten backs that are capable. I don't think either of those guys are like breaking, like 20, 25-yard type runs. I mean, it'd have to be like a really open gap and a hell of a runway and no one in the gap. But I'm expecting improvement from the secondary in terms of run fits, and I'm expecting a little more active linebacker play. And it again, just in general, it kind of feels like we're not going to get as much stunting. Guys are just going to play their gap and own that gap. And so I feel better about Nebraska's ability to stop the run. I don't think stopping the run against Michigan State tomorrow, like limiting them to under 100 rushing yards, is something that you can now pat yourself in the back and say, all right, well, we fixed the run defense. I mean, I don't think that's the case. That's just kind of where I'm at with Michigan State's runners. Like I like both of those guys enough, but like I told someone this week, it's like, I remember Mekhi Frazier coming out of high school. It was just like, hey, pretty solid player that can go play somewhere and be, but like there's a limited ceiling on what that guy is long-term. He kind of is just already, he is what he is. And I think that's just kind of the case with both those backs right now, where it's like they aren't, at least to me, and again, I'm not the running back expert by any means, but at least to me, they don't threaten me the way like other backs on Nebraska's schedule do.
Tim, as you kind of flip over to the other side, a lot of the conversation this past week has been about some of the lapses on Michigan State's pass defense, especially. If you're Nebraska, how do you kind of sit there and go, okay, we think our best player is 15. We think some of our best unit is our wide receivers and tight ends. We think that's attacking a weakness of Michigan State, but we still want to have some semblance of running the football. Like, how do you not fall into the trap? It's like, yeah, I mean, you could probably just win this game and throw it 50 times and be fine, but is that who you want to be long term?
I don't think it, like, I think tomorrow, I mean, Dana said it, I think he's hinting at it, just with the conditions and everything, you just win the game. Like, I don't think there's a thing in there of they need to run the ball this many times. Like, I think tomorrow specifically with the weather conditions, with the opponent coming out of the bye, like, it is just win the game. I'm expecting, and I kind of put it in my, like, 3 players I want to see more from. I have Emmett in there just because I'm like, hey, I want a bounce back day from Emmett. I think like Nebraska wants depth to be established behind Emmett, and they'd like to see an RB2 emerge or find something in the run game. I think if Emmett has a solid day tomorrow, just as a runner and kind of as an extension of the pass game as well, if he's able to do like just have some success, I think that gives Holgorsen and the offense some confidence that, hey, we can still rely on this guy to carry it 15 to 20 times if we need to and gain positive yards. Like the one thing I think Dana doesn't want and this offense doesn't want is you waste a play where it's just like, oh, we handed it off and it went nowhere. We just wasted a play. Like they don't want, like if Emmett can show tomorrow he's gaining positive yards, there is like, hey, okay, it may not happen against the Penn States and the Michigans of the world, but if they can create, kind of chunk plays and consistently move the ball against the Michigan States and the Marylands and the Minnesotas, you feel pretty good about your ability to kind of play balanced football through the remainder of the conference slate.
Tim, how careful? Well, and maybe it's a media fan thing. How careful do you think you have to be about? You always want to be cognizant of what the rest of the conference is and kind of what they're doing. You still have to have it be about you. Has it changed what you think Nebraska needs to be based on what you've seen from the conference so far?
Ooh. I honestly think like to win, like specifically, I like coming into the year, I thought Nebraska was weirdly like Michigan was uniquely kind of positioned to take advantage of some of Nebraska's weaknesses. But when you look across the conference, Michigan is more of not an exception, but they are more of an like exception to the rule, just in the sense that against everyone else, so yeah, you need to be able to hold up in the trenches. I mean, Penn State showed that, Oregon showed that. Like to compete at the very top of this conference, you still need to be able to do all of that. But you also need to be able to put up points. Like against USC, like USC's, we all know, like that's going to be a big opportunity for Nebraska. November 1st, it's hard not to kind of, I mean, obviously as the team there, they shouldn't be looking ahead, but as, media and everyone around here, it is a little easy to look ahead to that. But that USC, you're going to have to put up points to beat USC. you're gonna have to put up points to, somehow go into Happy Valley and come out with a win or even play competitive. You're gonna have to put up points. And so I think that's the biggest thing I've learned is, however, and I think that's why, again, like Dana said, what he said is like, hey, it's not necessarily about wanting to run the ball more and being a true 50-50 offense. Is we got to win the game. Like, and that is what it is. Like, I think as a staff, they recognize whatever it takes to win the game in this conference, the way they play too, like you have the opportunity to create some one-on-one matchups in the pass game where it's like, okay, this is not necessarily the run game, but with Dylan at quarterback and these sure-handed receivers, it's essentially a handoff. I mean, it's not, but you know what I mean.
So, Tim, you kind of touched on something interesting there with DB's question, because I remember a lot through the offseason as we're kind of talking about schedules and where we think Nebraska might be strong versus where they might need some development. And, obviously defensive line keeps coming up, and people would say, I'm afraid people are going to run it down Nebraska's throat. And I always would ask the question, well, who on their schedule actually even wants to do that? Right. And the answer is basically Michigan, Iowa, and Minnesota, but in a little bit different way. They're not quite as physical as those two teams are in terms of how they try and run the ball. Do you think I keep hearing like, oh, you can't win in the Big Ten if you're leading the conference in passing and you're throwing 40 times a game or whatever. Like, has the conference changed a lot more than we give it credit for, or than like maybe we realize right under our noses?
I still think you need to be physical. You need to have an element of the run game. Like, I mean, part of Nebraska's issue this year and why they probably won't be able to, again, just say, like, they're not going to be able to, like, again, make the college football playoff or win a college football playoff game or whatever, like, this year is because they don't have, like, the running back. Because you still do at the very top of this conference. You look at, who everyone has, like, everyone but Ohio State. And I ultimately think it's what's going to limit Ohio State potentially this year. Has a run game, has a reliable, like a strong run game. You still need to be able to run. I don't think it's that necessarily, but I do think I just noticed it this week where like, or this early this season where, we gave all of this credit to the Big Ten for playing physical football, and they still do, but like, the conversation used to be that, hey, the Big 12, they don't play any defense over there. They really light it up. In the SEC, they play physical defense. It's like they're really lighting it up there in the SEC right now. Like, like they really are. And I think it's the same thing in the Big Ten. I think it's not necessarily a Big Ten thing. I think it's the schools at the very top of the SEC and the Big Ten, and even the Big 12, I'd say, all recognize that to win at the highest level, you have to be able to throw the football, create with the football, win one-on-one matchups downfield, and you have to just be able to move the football consistently. I think it's less of run pass, the splits of run to pass, and it's more of what Dana talks about with you need to have a drive finishing rate of 75% or above. Like, you need to finish drives.
That's the key.
Yeah.
So let me flip over here just for a sec, because how far down the list, and this is relative to kind of the outlook, when you're talking about key players or the best players overall for Nebraska, do you go before you get to defense? Because I hearken back to you're going to have to be able to score some points. I look at Ohio State for as explosive as they are outside the numbers and how good Sand may end up or not being. That defense is outstanding. When I look at Penn State, that defense kept them in it against Oregon. The one thing I would question about Oregon is I don't know how good they are, if they are good enough defensively. I look at Alabama and I think, man, they can throw the ball around the yard, and boy, would they give Oregon problems out in space. So at the end of the day, I can't help but to go back to, can you get stops? How far down the line are we getting to Nebraska before you get to a guy or guys that make you think Nebraska will eventually have to get stops?
I mean, I think like in terms of just the schedule, like I think like later this next week, like they're like, I think the Maryland's uniquely has some will present some challenges. You're talking personnel, or you're talking just as a
but personnel kind of specific to get your mind going to the general.
So
it's after 2, it's after 15, is it after 21, is it after 6, is it after 13, is it after 44? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I mean, like, really specifically talking BBs, like I am really curious to see how Nebraska, like specifically Andrew Marshall, holds up this week because I thought last 2 weeks ago against Michigan, I thought there were some instances where I was like, oh, Donovan McCulley got the best of him, Bryce Underwood just to get there, or the pass was off, or whatever it was. But it was like, oh, Marshall got picked on a little bit. So I'm curious to see how he bounces back because I think that's something where if you're a team and you're watching Nebraska, like if you're Maryland right now and you're watching what Nebraska's done this year, I think if I'm Mike Loxley, I'd have like 10 just like in pencil, just lightly circled and saying, okay, is that a matchup we can potentially exploit when we leave Washington?
They don't run the ball anyway so far.
Right. But it is more.
They're
like,
fascinating tomorrow against Washington because they just have decided they're not. They're just not going to run the ball.
Not interested.
That game really interests me just because like I think Washington is still like one of the better teams at the top of this conference, but Maryland's been such a fun story. I think it's a good test to see where Malik is. I really think that Maryland game is going to be a good barometer for how Nebraska is going to be able to hold up the rest of the way because while they should be able to win that game, even though it's on the road and they are like dynamic, like Michigan Maryland has two young freshman edge rushers that are talented that will challenge Nebraska. Not the way that Michigan did, but okay. Will this will this new offensive line, this new look offensive line, will they hold up against kind of talented, quick edge rushers? And then Maryland, same thing. It's just those receivers, just like Michigan State, they're going to challenge the these DBs. Where like, okay, if Nebraska answers the test these next 2 weeks against Michigan State and Maryland, I feel better about the secondary's ability to hold up November 1st come USC. But I have to see it these next 2 weeks.
Tim, I do want to hold your feet to the fire here a little bit. How far down the list do you get before you get to a defensive player if you're doing the exercise?
Oh yeah. I mean, with the secondary, it's not. Well, I'm probably 7 deep. Like, I mean, I'm pretty good with the starting group, the guys they bring off the bench as well, Jameer Khan and those guys. I think linebackers and up front is where like we can't get too far into the bench before I start to get a little worried. Like, I'll say this. I think linebacker room specifically, I think we're going to see more Dawson Merritt by the end of the year. I think he's just a guy that's going to play himself onto the field. Defensive line, like, again, I think they really need, and it's just a personal thing too, I think they really need Williams to continue developing, really need Deshaun to continue settling in because I don't know behind those guys and like Cade and Elijah's had, some nice flashes at the end. How many guys can be disruptive and wreak havoc?
I'm surprised. I thought for sure you'd say McCullough.
Oh, he's at design.
No, I'm talking about after.
Oh, after the offensive.
After the offensive guys.
I think you say McCullough first. Or you say Sierra first. Like, who do you get to first?
I think Sierra's the best player on the defense right now.
I mean, it's hard to tell because nobody wants to throw the ball at him, so I just assume he's good. But
yeah, So I think one thing we're going to find out tomorrow is what's the correlation between pass rush and hurries versus secondary coverage, because usually those two things go hand in hand. But Nebraska hasn't gotten quarterbacks to the ground, but they do seem to be uncomfortable back there.
Yeah.
So does that help? Like, but at some point, you wonder if that's sustainable. Right? Are you going to have to actually start getting pressures and sacks to help your coverage out, or are they going to be that good enough to continue as is?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think tomorrow's the day where
it's a fascinating, what the stats show versus the production of what's happening up front.
Right, because you could also, you could make the argument that like, hey, if Nebraska's secondary is playing this well, it's like, oh, we just wait till the pass rush comes along. You could make that argument, but also, we know what's ahead. Like, Michigan State, like I said, can win one-on-one matchups. Maryland, they have receivers that can win one-on-one matchups. Like, it isn't always going to be. And again, in retrospect, it's like, hey, they did hold up well against Cincinnati, a receiver room that is looking better and better by the week. But yeah, I'm really curious how that, because I think tomorrow is one of those days where it is a beat up O line, and Deshaun, the light needs to keep progressing. Like, it isn't just it can't be a thing of like, okay, he's arrived. He can't have that mentality because for him, there's still money on the table. There's still draft, kind of stuff to be earned. And Nebraska really needs kind of him to be a reliable pass rusher tomorrow.
Tim, it's kind of funny you brought up the receiver room for Cincinnati because if you remember the week before that game, everybody we talked to from Cincinnati was very high on that receiver room. They were super excited about the transfers. They really thought they had a lot of talent. And then they played Nebraska, and we thought, oh, I guess the receivers aren't as good as everyone thought they were. And then the next 3 weeks happened, and we brought Sorsby up a lot because we're like, oh, Sorsby's really good. That was kind of a really impressive performance from Nebraska. What we haven't brought up is those receivers that were pretty hyped coming in are on the opposite end of that Sorsby being pretty good. Does that give you any sort of comfort in, or I guess some reassurance in going up against these next few groups with like Michigan State and Maryland?
No, not really, just only because of what those guys, like what is ahead. Again, like Michigan State, USC, Maryland, like specifically the Caleb Webb at Maryland, Nick Marsh tomorrow or Saturday.
They're going to have to get those guys to the ground.
Jacoby Lane, like it's big bodies that can go outside of their frame and can catch against the sideline, and you have to be able to hold up and you have to play over the top of them. And it's like, yeah, you answer the test against Cincinnati, and I do think Cincinnati's receivers are talented, but like, Mekhi Lemon's better than all of those guys, I think Omari Kelly is better than all of those guys. Like, I just think they're more talented. It's a very deep room. And I thought Nebraska winning one-on-one matchups across the board was good for the depth of the secondary and learning about the depth of the secondary. But it's still going to come down to Andrew Marshall and Sierra Wright and their ability to hold up against the top two receivers they'll see these next few weeks.
I'm just telling you guys, there's a difference between small and shifty and big,
yeah,
big
absolutely.
and body. And I think these DBs match up better with big body than they do little shifty. So I think it's still about matchups because not all good receivers are created equally in terms of the challenges that they present.
So
you know what I mean?
Better against like a Marsh than like a Lemon.
Right. And Lemon's going to work out of the slot, so he gets a two-way go.
Yeah.
Right? It's different than boundary guys.
Sure.
And so, like, some of that stuff matters when we want to make, like, just general sweeping statements. You know what I mean? If that's
right.
TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is just like it's different. So I just want to see it. I don't know necessarily. Like, I want to see how they hold up against the challenge because I think these receivers are better than Cincinnati's. And like you said, they're going to challenge them in different ways. I also think, like, again, I don't want to look too far ahead for Michigan State because I do think that's a challenge in its own right. But like, I do think Maryland's tight end Dorian Fleming's like a unique body that I think challenges Nebraska in a way that I'm very curious to see how they match it up.
So this is beautiful too, because schematically, how Nebraska likes to play defense, I think it's going to be hard for tight ends to get off. I do, right? Like, just the concepts, the intermediate passing game, the coverages they like to play. Because I thought Michigan's tight ends may have more of it. It just boils down to how Nebraska wants to play. Now they are susceptible in some spots, but I don't know if tight end is one of them. I have to be careful because the season is long, but I look at what happened with Royer. I look at what happened with Michigan. I'm not – some defenses, you see it where tight ends are just –
kind of kryptonite, and sometimes they're –
yeah, and sometimes they're not. I kind of like Nebraska's intermediate pass defense so far. I
think it's been something –
that will be something to keep an eye on.
Yes.
Because I think you know what I'm getting at scheme-wise. They're just built to take away some things.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done quite a good job with Joe Royer, Marlon Klein. Again, I think the world of Marlon Klein.
Klein's a stud.
Yeah, Klein's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude is legit for Michigan, and Royer's a draft pick too. So I'm just curious to see if that trend can keep up with how they match up.
For sure.
Tim, I know huge weekend recruiting wise last time against Michigan. Another pretty good group coming against Michigan State, right?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Like, it's a smaller group, but you get a 26 guy that's committed elsewhere. Really trying to kind of put the finishing touches on the class, and then you look to 27. Good group of guys there as well. An opportunity to make a move with some of your tight end targets. good opportunity on the defensive side of the ball. And then 28, they get the number 1 and 2 safety in the country. So credit Addison Williams building relationships in Georgia, getting out there and getting 2 of the more talented DBs in the 2028 cycle on campus. So yeah, big opportunity. I think the one again like to look at is Josiah Teasley, Virginia wide receiver commit. Nebraska recently offered he on Monday, he visited Penn State over the weekend. So it's a couple Big Ten programs after him, Syracuse as well, Vanderbilt in the mix too. And he's kind of moving quick. Like he committed to Virginia in the summer, went to Penn State last weekend. Penn State's had him on campus a couple of times. They're trying to get aggressive and make this flip happen sooner rather than later. And so I think it's a big deal. Nebraska's getting him in town. Oh shit. It's an unofficial visit, but it's a visit where they'll have kind of the opportunity to kind of roll out the red carpet the best they can on an unofficial, and potentially try and earn a return visit or just kind of show that they kind of deserve to be in the conversation. I do think as a pass offense right now, and with the quarterbacks they have, like Trey's going to be in town, Dayton's expected, like with having the quarterbacks and having the kind of the pass game functional and kind of moving, I think that resonates with guys, especially when you look at what Nebraska is and has been offensively this year compared to, I think Penn State's in a bit of identity crisis offensively. I feel like I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say that.
Hey, let me ask you something, TV, to get you out of here on this. Pierre, South Dakota's been good in Nebraska. I like Terwilliger. I know Hudson gets a lot of the headlines and rightfully so. Where do you think Nebraska sits with Coop between Iowa State and what ultimately boiled down to Nebraska, Iowa State, and maybe Iowa? I get Michigan too, but it seems like he likes the Cyclones.
Really likes the Cyclones. I think they're like sneaky. I think they're I think they're like the biggest threat to Nebraska here. And I know that may like surprise some people who like maybe a year or two ago, it's like, oh, if it's a 4-team battle for a Midwest tight end, figure Michigan and Iowa, but no, it's Iowa State and Nebraska at the top of this one. So I'm actually headed out to Sioux Falls later this afternoon to go see him because he's playing at O'Gorman this evening. So I'll be there to go see Cooper in action. I'm excited to see him. And again, just to give some to the talent, like explosive, bouncy, kind of like 3-sport athlete who can play in line. I think you look at him, and I watch a lot of him, and I'm like, oh man, there's like Carter here, but imagine if Carter played in line, like for 3 years in high school. Like it is just kind of like he's a good athlete, and really fun. And Nebraska would love to pair Cooper and Ahmad together. They've pitched both those guys on playing together. It's not a one or the other type situation. Trey really likes Cooper. Trey really likes Ahmad, of course. And so they're really trying to get this done this season. We'll see if Nebraska gets over the top. I do think Iowa State is a bigger threat here than people realize just because of what they've been able to do at the tight end position, specifically with Ben Brahmer. What that program is, his comfort in Ames. But at the same time, I think Nebraska's done a really good job. He's camped here a bunch. He's been to Nebraska more than any other school. That relationship with Trey Taylor's steadily developing. Ultimately, it comes down to, do you want to be kind of the featured tight end in an Iowa State type offense, or do you want to be a kind of a weapon in a Nebraska offense where they're going to be working to pair you up with another kind of big frame tight end?
TV, real quick before I let you go, I just remembered this one. How concerned should Nebraska fans be about Michigan coming in on Danny Odom?
Oh yeah, concerned. I think there's a healthy level of concern there. I like Clemson was a school I was worried about going into the year, and then Clemson having the struggles that they have kind of taken them out of this mix. Just in my opinion. So really the biggest threats now are Ohio State and Michigan, and even Ohio State, they've gone by, they've done their due diligence. They had a shot at him, and he's still committed to Nebraska over Ohio State. Michigan is a bit different just because there's opportunity in that secondary. They're playing young guys, and they're developing young guys. That DB coach there, Lamar Morgan, does a good job of building relationships. And Michigan's been in this recruitment longer than people realize. They lost a corner commit in July, like a week after Danny committed to Nebraska. And so they started checking in from that point on, and they've been in touch. They went to visit him a couple of weeks ago. And the expectation is he's going to visit Michigan at some point this year. Both Nebraska and Michigan are trying to get him in town. He's yet to visit Nebraska this year. He was quietly at Penn State last weekend for the whiteout game. I continue to be told that Penn State's not a real threat here. He's going to do, he's back in Farrell. It's where he's from. He's from Pennsylvania with Devin Jackson. They both just popped through, but they're both happily committed to Nebraska and Oregon, respectively. What I've been told is Odom left Pennsylvania for a reason. He's not going back to Pennsylvania. So Michigan's really the school I'm most worried about. And after that, we'll see, because I still think there's an opportunity with the season he's having, with the development he's made, and just the fact that he is Nebraska's top commit, and they kind of look at Nebraska as, kind of a school, just because Nebraska has a relatively poor recruiting, quote unquote, poor recruiting class. They see it as an opportunity, a class that can get poached. But I mean, Nebraska's making Odom feel comfortable. They've built a really strong relationship. And they, from an NIL standpoint, they're making sure he's well taken care of.
That's our guy, Tim Verghese, Inside Nebraska. Tim, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow.
Enjoy South Dakota tonight. Got a big Sioux Falls game up there for him.
Yeah. I don't know much about TF. I don't know much about Riggs, but I do know a lot about Terwilliger. So
yeah.
Be curious.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that one comes down. I mean,
shoot, Nebraska could always use another Terwilliger on the roster.
Always. It could always use some more tight ends too.
Absolutely.
Tight ends and Terwilligers. Let's do it. Make it.
God, was he Grant? Where was Ryan from? I think he's from Grant.
Is that right?
I think. I just talked to him a couple days ago. I should have maybe been like, "Why are you asking me this? We're talking business."
Hey, buddy, where are you from?
I'm pretty sure it's Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some about his license plate. I remember when he was on, was it 94?
Oh, when he was like rolling up?
Yeah. And I used to try to do this thing where I knew all the numbers.
Yeah.
The counties.
Oh, yeah.
Was he Grant? I don't know. I might be out to lunch, but
I'll look it up during the break, see if we can find it. Maybe he's got a Wikipedia page. Can help us out here.
Well, he's bigwig now, Malcolm. I'm sure he's got his own page.
Might have a little action there.
He's like the mayor
on the good old Terwilliger. If you need a little action on your auto body repair needs, Dingman's got you covered. Go out to dingmans.com. They've got the latest technology because they invest not just in the community, but also in the way they do business. Anything you need for auto body repair, they've got you covered, and it's a name you can trust because they're right here, family owned and operated, just in our community, just like you are. Get to dingmans.com to learn more. They've been voted best of Omaha first place for 20 straight years. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I just think we look different, and I think it's just been fun to see how 5 new pieces can fit into our system and into our culture, but also understanding we have such a fun and good core that comes back. And so just being able to build on that success of last year, and like I kind of mentioned before, like we got a taste of what it's like to play in March, and now like giving people like, let's go win in March, and like let's make that the standard, and like let's host games at PBA, and let's have some fun with that. And so super excited about what this team can do starting this month. Very crazy. 4 years flies by. I think when they tell you and like the days are long, the years are short. Now sitting here, it's like amen to that. So exciting. I always say I'm living in answered prayer. So it's been awesome.
just start with saying thank you to everyone for being here. It's really exciting to see everybody's faces. There's obviously a lot of excitement right now this time of year. I feel blessed and honored to be beginning my 10th season as the head coach of this program. And I just am really excited about just what I feel like is just a really healthy mix of 5 new players that are just bringing in a lot of different things and juice and their own kind of energy to our program, but coupling that with some returning players that we really feel like have garnered some pretty good experience and are excited to pair that with. So it's been a really fun summer and preseason, just getting to know these players, letting them get to know each other, and just watching the way that meshing is taking place.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I don't think we're still thinking about the past. I don't think we're thinking about put something. We're not embarrassed of our effort the previous game. Like I said, we just know that there's things we could have done better. And but I think you talk to every team that wins or loses, they're always going to say, hey, we can get better. So I think for us, we're just excited about another opportunity. We're playing at home, playing a Big Ten opponent. I don't know when the last time Nebraska beat Michigan State is, but it seems like it's another one, kind of like Wisconsin, that's been, maybe 2015 or something like that. Since then, 2019, 2018. So not in this decade. Fair enough. So I think we look at that as an unbelievable opportunity. They're a heck of a team. They got a great quarterback. They have a great run game. They've got really productive players on defense. 2 great receivers, amazing punter, great punt returner. So I think you look at it, you're like, hey, it's going to be a heck of a football game. We think we also have good players too. And I'm expecting our players to go play really, really, really well. I think they've improved. And we're just going to play it out and see what happens.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. If you're trying to improve as well, or maybe improve the lives of others, get out to bbbsmidlands.org to become a big brother or big sister. It just takes a few hours a month, 4 to be exact, to make a big difference. No matter what you're doing, just hanging out, shooting hoops, getting some food, little moments can make the biggest difference. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up. And you won't do it alone. BBBS supports you every step of the way. It's bbbsmidlands.org to become a mentor or to learn more today. I thought maybe our guy, Coach Rule, maybe needed a little bit of a mentor yesterday. He seemed a little cranky.
Yeah, I love it. He was edgy. He was short this morning.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. His response, I was like, really? You're just not going to play along? He's like, what does that mean? I was like, am I reading into that? I don't know. But anyway.
He seemed a little cranky.
Yesterday's press conference might have been the shortest one ever.
I love it. Because
short, simple, to the point.
And I hadn't talked to him, since probably Saturday. But anyway, so I said this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what I said about what I think the narrative is versus what I actually think Nebraska thinks?
About the coming out of Michigan or about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this yesterday. I'm like, we talk as though
yes,
Nebraska's like in their feels and they like.
We also talk as though they got their butt whipped.
And I said, I don't think Nebraska's looking at it like that. I think it's more like, we're close. This is a good barometer. Let's go get it. Bye weeks suck, ending on an L.
Yeah.
But we act like
there's more. Like
they got to lick their
yeah.
They're not licking their wounds.
Yeah.
So when he said that yesterday, I was like,
he was annoyed. There was a couple of those questions, and he was annoyed by it.
And I'm going to Nebs, and I'm like, it's just good to know that I'm only crazy half the time. Because
yeah, you had a pretty good pulse on that.
I just felt like we're thinking the wrong thing about what they think.
Yeah, I was pretty confused by and I get that it's probably a PTSD thing from the last 10 years of what the losses have looked like.
Yeah.
But like I try to tell people all week, like that loss wasn't the same loss we've been licking our wounds over.
Yep.
It just wasn't. right? Whether it's the not shooting themselves in the foot, only had 3 penalties, didn't have the crucial turnover, like whatever it is, right? The mistakes were real execution football mistakes, not peeing it down our leg, right? Like that's not what it was. And I think the way that fans, media, a lot of people reacted outside the building was kind of like you said, like licking the wounds. It almost it almost sounded like we felt like they should be ashamed of their effort, and it's like I don't think they should be ashamed of their effort.
He nipped that in the bud.
I think there's a few people that will be a little embarrassed by the tape of their execution, but that's a different thing. Right? Like there's a handful of people that probably watch the tape and they're like, oh, I don't feel good about that. Right? But that's what you want. You want guys who can go and say, hey, I don't feel good about that. Here's what I've got left on the table to try and go get. Right? That's how, to me, whether it's last week with the coaches, whether it's this week, to me, it always felt like they're like, oh, no, there's so much more on the table, and we were still within 3 points of Michigan.
I just looked at it as I think they thought Michigan was pretty good. They got some work to do. They're going to go to work in the bye week, but they feel like they're close. No more, no less. And then, like I said, I hadn't said it. I mean, I actually was like pleasantly, I'm like, yeah. Like, don't.
You kind of like it when he's a little, like, edgy, though.
Yeah, because that's how I like. First, cool. I don't know. I think some people think I'm cool. Like, I'm fairly easygoing, right? The good piece of cheese.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, I want to compete.
Yeah.
And, like, don't.
And there's times when you're in a different mode than others.
Right.
And I can tell.
And I feel like these guys don't feel sorry for us. Like, go get better.
Yeah.
We're closer than you think. Everybody will have these narratives. It's not about that, though. And I liked how he said, listen, we're not embarrassed by go put something on tape. Like, what?
Yeah.
Because at some point.
The way that people talked about it was kind of wild.
At some point, and listen, I get it. It's a fine line between making yourself available to the media and knowing what's going to happen with what we do with the information. So, Monday it was, everybody had jokes and they went in their little bit about what's going to be new and what is Holgerson talking about, and they make light of it. And listen, man, that just goes with the territory. But internally, this guy's, it doesn't, like those bits are just bits, right? There's actual real coaching and real receiving of instruction to go play the next day. Like, fandom is fandom, media is media, and what we do in the media, it's just like, okay, it's fine. It's a necessary evil. It's a vehicle that we have to talk to you guys, and you can do with it what you will, but we're going to move on to the next thing. It's just important that their culture is something that they couldn't care less either way. It can bother them, and believe me, I know it does.
Yeah.
Like, they're fibbing if they say they're not paying any attention.
Yeah.
Now, what you do with it is something altogether different.
Yeah.
But you definitely hear the snark, the cynic, like
almost impossible not to.
So it just is what it is. But I think that immediately Saturday, Sunday, because I know those guys they were working out, right? Like, they're back in the building.
Yeah.
When those guys are on the road recruiting, like, you get a sense on how they feel, and you just don't want to go. It's what I was trying to say to MRI, and he got it. Right? Going into a bye week off a loss, when you think you're pretty good, you're not looking at it like, oh, man, Michigan, and they were this and they were that. No, man, like, you don't concede that.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, this is what we have to do. So you got to get off the narrative that's whatever's being permeated and just dial in. Like, that's the beauty of getting to go compete. Like, you control that.
Yeah.
People, we can say whatever we want to out with the behind this.
But we don't control
you
that.
get to go out and control the outcome.
Yeah.
And we'll see tomorrow at 3:00.
But
you can tell, though, they're pissy.
I think,
for whatever the reason.
I sure hope so. I mean, I think I would want them, like, knowing all the circumstances, right? Knowing, hey, you have the close loss to Michigan, you feel like you left something out there. You have the bye week right after that. If I don't know if I would have said this before, been able to put the words to it before, but if you had given me that scenario and asked me how do you want your team to feel coming in out of that scenario, I think the answer would be a little pissy.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I think the team is good and they think they're good and they have a 3-point loss that they feel like they could have gotten, like if they shore a couple things up that they feel like they could have gotten, and they still don't feel like they've gotten anywhere near to where they're maximized their potential yet, and you still think, hey, yeah, we're probably 3-4 plays away from winning that game, and we're still 30-40 plays away from getting where we need to be, and then you have to follow that up with a bye week, I think I would want that team to be a little pissy.
Yeah. I just think we talked as though they should be feeling like
that was weird.
I just didn't.
I don't want the team to feel like I
have to be careful because is it just me because
I thought the
used
narrative
to play
got weird.
and I'm competitive?
I
feel like the narrative was. I feel like it was bad.
I feel like it got weird.
Said, well, we lost a team that was playing without their coach and this and that. I mean, like shut up with that. Like they're 8-0 without their head coach. Like, why would you say that? Yeah. It's just lazy. Like they're 8-0.
Yeah. And they've done this more than anybody recently.
And they did it without a better coach.
Yeah.
So why was that part of it? We built that, we baked that into the cake so it tasted like we wanted it to.
Yeah. Which apparently we wanted it to taste bad. Like that's the weird part, right?
I don't know, but I think Michigan's pretty
pretty good. I mean,
they were. And it's not revisionist history because it's one of the things that I thought going in, and it's like, how close is Nebraska? I don't know, but you know what? You better use the bye week for self-scout and see who you want to play. Like that's what the bye week is for. So they clearly have self-scouted.
Absolutely.
Because Dana wouldn't have had the presser that he had.
So can I say I think that's part of I thought he was pretty telling. I did too. But here's the thing. I think that there's sometimes a disconnect between what the coaches are saying, this coaching staff says, versus what the fan base hears. Is in years past, and I know it is not this coaching staff's fault.
This is going to be good.
In years past, I feel like there was things that the coaching staff would say that we didn't have confidence was actually backed up by any substance. And so I think sometimes we still hear it in that prism, which is not their fault. They can't do anything about that. That's an us problem, right? But it is still, I think, a reality that we, until some of the like actual things that we can see change with it,
it's just going to be that.
It's going to be the thing,
and that's fine
until we can see it.
And you can't be like.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
That's just the reality of it.
Right? There's nothing there's been too much of the other stuff before for a lot of people mentally to make the switch without seeing it show up in a win against Michigan, right? And I mean, a lot of people, even though, and here's the thing that actually bothers me, if I'm being honest, is people are going to say nothing matters until USC, but it's not the USCs that Nebraska's had trouble with. It's the Michigan States, the Marylands, the Northwesterns, the Minnesotas. Like this next 4-week stretch to me is what you find out about, right? Michigan, USC, Penn State, that's great, right? But this 4-week stretch is what we talked about all offseason, about getting through the middle.
I'm like totally woosawing.
Do it.
Okay.
Dana.
You know what drives me crazy?
What's that?
The whole nothing matters until SC. We wouldn't bitch and moan if they dropped one before then.
Exactly.
Like, do we not know that when we say that?
And that's really been the problem, is these types of games, not the Michigans, USC's, Penn States, right? That's a different problem. But the real problem with Nebraska football over the past however many years you want to pick is this next 4 stretch of games, right? Like that we haven't cared about anything. It's the thing that I hate the most. You're going to get hammered for it if you lose. You get no credit if you win, right? If you're going to hammer me if I lose, I need to give me credit for winning.
Yeah, the best thing that he said all week, other than I loved yesterday's presser, and he's going to be like, why I didn't say anything. It's just,
and you're going to say that's why.
That's why.
Yeah.
But just nobody's coming to save you.
You got to do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, got to go do it yourself.
Just like the 1-score games. No, we weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Just like the uniforms. No, we weren't good enough because at some point it doesn't matter what I say or what we say who cares? You need to focus on you. You can pay attention to it and it can upset you. And at the end of the day, that's okay because there's this human component that matters when you compete in life. It's what you do with the information that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has access to the same, not internally, but like we can all evaluate the same things that we see.
Yeah, publicly.
It's what you do with it that matters.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which side of the aisle that you're on. It's what you do with the information. So I think it's listen, Daniel, I understand. And it's funny how you're always rationalizing how you receive the information as a fan base. It just is. So clearly I'm talking to you because this is the response. Shane, you have to put this in bold. It's not the staff's fault, but you also can't fully fault fans for having trust issues. I don't care, Daniel. Like, you don't have to rationalize poor behavior. Like, that's for you to own. Hear my heart. I don't care that you have trust issues. I don't. I'm not judging it. I'm not critiquing it. That's for you to own. What I'm talking about is just the opposite of your response. It can't matter to Nebraska. They have to own what they can control. Just like you have to navigate your own trust issues. It's like the person that tells me, that would be like me saying, hey, you know what? I'm a bad decision maker because you treat me poorly. No, I'm just a bad decision maker. Right? Like, I chose wrong because I chose wrong. Stop giving people power over that. Like, just own it. Because until you own it, there's no growth. There's zero growth. It's what I said 3 weeks ago. It's hard to help people that perpetuate the narrative
that serves their dysfunction,
that promotes your own dysfunction.
Yeah.
Like, there's no better explanation than what you just did, Daniel. Like, well, you can't fault me for having trust. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. You're a grown-up. You got options. Misery is optional. Lack of trust is optional. You can choose the good piece of cheese. You may get burned, but you still get to own it. Like, what are we doing? You can't fault me. Like, do you want I'm not trying to go here. I don't know why you set me up like that.
I didn't know it was good. I didn't know.
We just perpetuate piss poor behavior because of how we feel.
I have a good example of this.
Like, I wish I could make excuses for every stupid decision I make to blame it on somebody else. I can't.
Yeah.
And I won't. Because if I do, I'm always going to be a victim to the conditions.
Right. And you won't have control over your own agency. Now, I have a good example of this. So when I got
it drives me up the wall.
When I got divorced, I had some trust issues. When I met my new wife, my now wife, I had to come to a realization at one point because I was not behaving well that, hey, and I used the word trust issue. I was like, hey, I've got some trust issues. And she's like, okay, that's not my fault.
Yeah. It's not her burden to bear.
And I go, hey, you're right. That's on me. I got to work through that.
Not her burden to bear.
Right? Like, I have to own that so I can be in control of my process. She had nothing to do with it.
Like, she
had nothing to do with it.
Listen, it's okay if you watch somebody else on the roller coaster. You don't have to get on.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
But if you choose to get on, I'm a little queasy. Well, then get your ass off the roller coaster. I'm just like, I don't know how else to.
If you know you're afraid of heights and you choose to get on the roller coaster,
I see it all the time in politics, and it pisses me off. Like, it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
Well, they did, so I when you stop becoming your own benchmark and it becomes about other people's barometers, do you know how hard that is to match everybody's moving goalposts?
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Am I the best version of myself? And if I'm not, when I check the mirror, What can I do differently?
Go figure it out.
Right? Like, just ask yourself, and you'll be amazed at the power you can regain if you're willing to be honest with yourself. That's just that's exactly how you want the team to function that you're cheering for as a fan base.
You know, Coach Rosenberg said something this morning that hit me like really hard, because I've always considered myself a competitive person. But then he said something. He goes, yeah, but a lot of times people will shy away from competition because they can't handle the idea that they put it all out there and that it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Right.
There's lots of variations of it. It's the same thing I said about the podcast.
Yeah.
Coach Rule has to take what comes with doing the podcast if you don't win.
Mm-hmm.
But he's well aware of that, and he's not going to let the potential of a negative outcome determine how he handles the second-to-second stuff.
Control his actions.
I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah.
There's freedom in that.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Don't rob me of my blessing because you can't receive it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a you thing.
Yeah.
But you just compete, man. Just play ball. Just play life. Just do life. Attack that thing.
Coming up next, we'll talk about some teams that'll be competing tonight and over the weekend with Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. Don't forget, though, if you're on the road this morning, make sure you get that seatbelt fastened and make it click. It prevents injuries and saves lives, but only if worn properly. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, I think recruiting, it's a little bit different for everybody, you know, in terms of different players see different things. I think the vast majority of, at least, the feedback that I get when I talk to people, the type of player that we're talking to, and then the feedback I get from people that, you know, are in that world is that, you know, we're obviously making some noise with people. They're coming and seeing the game day experience. They're seeing the fan base. They're seeing the facilities. They're seeing the inner workings of the program. I think we're doing a good job of showing kind of what the ilk of what we do is. So I think our guys are. I think the players that we're recruiting are excited about us. You know, it's just there's a lot more factors these days. A lot more goes into it. So we have to make sure we check all the boxes. But I think we're continuing to attract the right people. And I think when you look at over the last 2 years, the freshmen that we brought in, you know, a lot of them have played, and B, the impact they've made, and some haven't made an impact yet, but they're going to. So I think we've done a good job evaluating, and we'll continue to do so.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I mean, I'd say a rough point for us last year was kind of that trip to LA where we got beat by quite a bit by UCLA and USC, and we definitely bounced back from that and learned from that as a team. And I think it showed the next time that we played UCLA in the Big Ten tournament that just like we can play with them. And so I think just like having more belief in ourselves that like we can do that, we can stick with the top teams. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to playing every team in the Big Ten. You know, it's a really tough league and super exciting. So yeah, I'm excited.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. Before we get to Mike Sautter, who is our NebPreps expert, I got to remind you, if you need a financial expert, Centris Federal Credit Union has you covered. Sometimes you just need somebody to help check in with where you're at with your finances. Go to centrisfcu.org to talk to one of their experts today, regardless of what your financial goals are. Federally insured by NCUA. Now our guy, Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. Sautter, how are we doing this morning?
What's up, fuckers?
Wrong bald guy, but you're a funny dude, man.
Listen, I'm gonna probably do that every time going forward, just as a ode to our friend. So
yeah, that was a fantastic text you sent me. I wish I had the gumption to respond, but you know, I read it, and
I know.
At some point in my life, I will grow up and be able to handle those emotions better, real time. But for right now, I just read.
It's okay. Everybody grieves their own way, and it's fine, and I get it. I just wanted to let you know I was here for you. So.
I still didn't give myself enough time, so full disclosure, I may snap at any time. Because it's, you know, just is what it is. But I knew this dude would be, this is so dumb, but I'm going to tell you. Like, I know he can't respond to the text message, but I texted him the other day, and I know this dude said, I'm telling you, like, get it in gear.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, where are we going tonight? What's up with the schedule?
Well, first, I got math for you.
All right, give me some math.
And I have my big grease board out again.
I got one too.
Yeah,
grease
board buddies.
It still has the Verzal words you can't say on the radio. Sure. I think it says.
Would you stop? You're doing this.
It says fucker, shithead, asshole, D bag word, and the P word, which I.
Dude, you guys are so funny. You just roll through F-bomb, S-bomb, and then you're like D-bag.
Okay, you ready? I got math time with math with Mike.
Okay, what do we got?
Okay. Through week 1 through 5, there have been 17 50-plus point wins in Class A. 14 of those were shutouts. In Class B through D6, there were 67 50-plus point wins. 38 of those were shutouts. And in week 6, we had one Class A 50-plus point win and one shutout. And in Class B through D6, we had 4 50-plus wins and 0 shutouts. That's after one night. So, I don't know. Maybe people just get blown out sometimes instead of what's wrong with football.
That's the moral of your story.
I mean, I would love a historical reference because it feels like we think this is a recent problem.
It is not.
And I feel like we could just pick a random year from any point really in Nebraska high school football history and just say, oh, yeah, this has actually been happening for quite a long time.
Correct. And, like maybe, just maybe, this one team that everyone keeps harping about and, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're doing this and that and whatever. I don't know. 2019 Bellevue West was pretty good, and they gave up like 63 points all year, and they smacked people all the time. 2 years ago, Omaha West Side was pretty good, and they smacked people all the time. Guess what is in common with Millard South and that team is people hated on them all the time. Well, when you win, you take some bullets. So it's just kind of one of those deals. And I'm about, hopefully my 2 math lessons here recently have proven my point. But I can keep doing math. I'll keep doing math and finding stuff people want. But yeah, tonight, though, changing topics, I will be at Central Prep. It won my game of the week, so won't be traveling out of the metro this week for the first time in 4 weeks. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by this Central Prep game.
Yeah, I felt like last week was a combination of a lot of things, but I want to start with Central's focus and being dialed in was incredible. It started in warm-ups. They had very few penalties. They were extremely disciplined. And it starts with their quarterback.
Yep.
I was really impressed. I was really impressed. You told me. I was really impressed.
We talked about him for 2 years now about how he's composed and uses his feet well and is the leader of the team.
You gotta give their staff some credit too, because they take some bullets, right? People talk reckless and they're not this and they're not that and they allow this and they allow that. I don't know, man. Like I watched those guys last week, and I think if you're gonna hate, you gotta turn around and give them some credit too. They were focused, they were dialed. They again, very few penalties. If you're gonna take some bullets, and you got to give them some credit too. That game plan. They salted clock. We couldn't get them off the field. Now we didn't help, right? We did not help at all. But they
took advantage.
You gotta give that staff some credit too, man.
No, I mean, Westside, you had 3 possessions in the first half? That's like NFL type stuff.
That's tough.
Dude, they had 41 minutes time of possession.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. So
when you have the ball 19 minutes,
it's hard to win.
And listen, we didn't play well either. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of those times, you gotta let go of there's lots of things we could do differently, but when your quarterback is savvy enough to slide, to get down, to know right where the sticks are, and
really good presence,
making guys miss in the open field. Like I felt like the first series we were out. It was a scheme thing, right? I'm like, God, he's in his bag. Tip your cap. Mm-hmm. We made some adjustments. They did too, right? I think. I don't know. For as much hate as they take, you got to give them a look. Got to give them their due too, man. That was a well-coached bunch last Friday.
I had seen them on TV a couple times last couple of years. I think that's the first time I'd seen them in person. I was really impressed with how quick he was.
Who? Oh, Newsom?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
like really, really twitchy. And it's also something I don't think it picks up on TV is how good his presence is.
I don't know if he's their best player. He's their most important player, and it's not close.
Not close. Yeah.
Yeah, and also one thing, and then I've said this before about him, his ability to actually stay in the pocket or climb it is
and
different.
and it's going to be a fantastic matchup because Prep gets after the quarterback. They've got 20 sacks, right? So
Prep is averaging 4 sacks a game.
Yeah,
they have 20 and a half in 5 games.
The cat and mouse matchup will be fascinating in this one. What are some keys for you?
That's the one. Like up front, and can Prep apply pressure and get to the quarterback, which they've done a great job of all year. But Angelo Walker is a key for them. Prep's not really throwing the ball that well or at all.
And I actually think that's probably where you could get Central.
Right.
Even though they have good players in the set. Like there's some plays to be made back there.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Angelo Walker is a 2A guy. He's been great.
Yeah.
It's the upfrontness for me, is because Jake Brack is a very good player for Prep, defensive tackle, and then obviously they got numbers up front and they can rotate guys, and Central doesn't have a lot of numbers up front and doesn't rotate a lot of guys. Jerry Jackson's a dude for Central too. So which D-line maybe wins is a thing, and maybe which back has a better game, because Kyron can do some stuff too.
That's the game within the game, is Central's kind of lack of depth, because they were wearing down, but they were so mentally tough, right? They just hung in there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, especially you guys coming back on them like that, a lot of teams would crack, and they didn't. So
so I think that's kind of the game within the game, is what happens in the interior front for me.
Yeah, I think there's no question.
Depth against Central's top line. Can they hang in there? And then Central's emotional maturity. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's
when I tell you they were locked in, look, I know all those coaches. Like some of those guys I would call like my guys.
Mm-hmm.
Abdul's the only one that spoke. Gave me a hug, said, "Hey man, I love you. Hang in there." Not nary a word from another guy on that staff until after the game. And by then I didn't want to hear it. But like they were locked in, man. They were locked in.
Yeah, they're like, Coach Rule, a little magnanimous in a loss, maybe a little bit.
I don't know. I love Coach Rule's personality this week. I hope like they do big things. Like I
feel
just,
like they are.
I like when people just like buck up and they don't have their hand out and they don't want help up. It's like, nah, man, like I got this. Let's go to work. So I'm excited for tomorrow too. At the collegiate level.
Listen, it was a 3-point loss against a good team. It's not when, before halftime, Nebraska was in trouble. And so getting that done, coming back and fighting back shows some progress, and that's about all you need to show. So
let me get back to something. I want to read you some scores, and you tell me what team this is, okay? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
63-0, 63-6, 45-0, 34-6, 24-17, 30-7.
Is that Elkhorn South?
That is Elkhorn South. Is that a good football team?
I think they're pretty good. Especially, obviously, Sutko is their key and a dude. Extremely well coached. I listened to a little bit of Coach Rosenberg this morning. That guy's
isn't he something?
He is a wordsmith. I'll say that. Every interview and time I talk with him, I'm just like, gosh, you are way smarter than me.
Talking about books and culture and theme. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's our we're reading chapters a week.
Yeah.
At what? No, I'm dead serious. Like, there's like very few degrees of separation.
But him and his staff, they do a great job. Like they do. And, that goes back to the thing that started with the math stuff and, people having a problem. So there's only one school in Class A that does not have open enrollment. And it's Class A school, and it's Elkhorn South. There's only one. Now, other schools have a little more restrictions, like the Papios have a little more restrictions, but one school. And what do you have? Do you ever hear anyone from Elkhorn South complaining about losing a game to someone that may have
Well, my good buddy had a bad night, but it was the state finals, so
But you know what I mean.
He's forgiven, and I love him because he's family.
Right, but but you know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear it. They just go to work.
Yep.
Like, they just go to work. They don't, you never hear a lot about that. Like, so, and they do a good job. They do a really good job. I've been to, practice of his for years. Geez, maybe 10 in a row now. They do a great job. They're very detail oriented, and Succo's a dude. So that's what, next week for you guys?
Yeah.
Not to look ahead, but
no, certainly not. I mean, we got to get on the road, and we're licking our wounds. We got out toughed a little bit, so
yeah.
We'll see.
So,
When you fit in the run game, and you look up and it's 2nd and 5, and you wonder how, that's physicality, right?
Yeah.
Like, we'll figure that part out. Who's the best team in Class B?
Ooh. Well, we're gonna find out here in the next couple weeks. Because the district is crazy.
It's something.
It's crazy. I guess you got to go with Elkhorn North now at this point, right? At this moment. But I still feel like it's one of 5 teams that can win it. So, because I think Scud will be, they lost that first game. That feels like forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, had a bunch of new faces. So they're going to be good. So Scud will be good. Elkhorn North, Bennington, Norris obviously is in that conversation, and Waverly. And they all play each other in the next couple weeks. So Norris Waverly is week 8 in 2 weeks.
I drive by Waverly 3 times a week.
Right.
Wander down to Lincoln, and I want to stop in that building so bad, but they're going to be like, why are you here? But I'm just captivated by what they do. I've told you this for years. This isn't clearly, Mike, this isn't new for me about them, but I don't know, man. And I get it. Coaching changes, whether it's basketball, football, but there's just something about that place that I'm captivated by.
They just seem to kind of win all the time.
I just like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, I'm just kind of drawn, and I get off, but I always go left towards 84th as opposed to go right. But I'm like, can I just stop in your building? I kind of just want to see what's. But that's how I am, though, right? I just want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Scott has Elkhorn North plays Scott next week, and then Scott plays at Bennington in 2 weeks, or I guess, on the 17th. So a couple weeks. Same night as Norris and Waverly. Yeah. So, and then the last week, Bennington, Elkhorn North, because, that district just had to be those 3 teams. That B district just had to be Elkhorn North and Scott and Bennington all in the same thing.
Yeah. How about, because you're looking at Elkhorn North's last 4 games. How about that schedule?
Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if they get through that thing unscathed, then I think we have a clear favorite. I don't know. It's just a wild thing. And I do think B, again, I think it's one of those 5 teams probably can win it. So, and I wouldn't be shocked if an upset happens with a Seward, who's actually pretty good.
I'm laying in the cut, right?
Yeah. The Scottsbluff win really kind of gave them, when they beat Scottsbluff last week, that was or 2 weeks ago, that was okay. They're still pretty good, even though they don't have their what would be their starting quarterback. So
Scottsbluff still so Kelly reliant, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes. So that's gonna be their thing. He's gonna have to just run the ball all day, and they're gonna have to win low scoring games. So they also play McCook, I think, coming up. So at McCook in a couple.
Can I ask you something as a fellow high school lover of all things sports?
Mm-hmm.
For their team, for their respective team, which local guy has more of an impact on their college basketball team? Will it be Frager or Trout?
Ooh, both gonna play, key roles. I think.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
You like that question?
I do like that question.
Thank you.
It's a great question because they're both likely not going to start. But they're both.
I mean, Jason Green would be easy, low hanging.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about. It might not be on our periphery,
but like rotation guys
but
that
could
aren't
end
stars.
up being very important.
Yeah, and Frager might shoot. He might start.
He might start.
Depends on what lineup.
I get it.
Depends on what lineup they want, because you have, point guard to be determined. I guess still maybe. I guess they probably figured it out, but we can't go watch their practice.
Is it too soon to say that team might be able to shoot it? Like, when's the last time you been able to say that about Nebraska?
They're going to be able to shoot it.
No question.
That's for sure.
Talk about stained. It's been a while. Like it's been a minute.
And I still don't know what I'm getting. I know Creighton's depth is incredible, but I'll be curious to see how they play defensively.
I'll say they're going to score 1,000,000 points. I have no idea.
How can they not?
I have no idea how they're like. I imagine we're going to see a lot closer to like Mitch Ballack era Creighton defense.
And DeMarinis almost got me out of the house the other day, but the times did line up. I wanted to go to Creighton's basketball practice, but it was at 3:30.
Yeah, they always do.
I want to see.
I kind of do too.
What happens with them, because they'll be able to score.
Mm-hmm.
But
I went to their first practice, and I sat and watched the whole practice, and it wasn't awesome. And you could tell the new.
Just going to spend time with DeMarinis. Any basketball knowledge I gleaned was going to be coincidental.
There's so many new faces at Creighton, so you could tell the guys that had been in the program versus the guys that hadn't. Just the work ethic stuff and little minor detail things that the guys that have been there before know what to do. And official practice, it just ramps up a little different. Yes, I know they've been practicing, if you will, forever, but like since June 1st.
Imagine raising my hand and being like, Coach Mack, can I get a hug?
He was not in a huggy mood that day. I will tell you that.
I just my affinity for it. I usually been like, come here, DB.
Maybe afterwards.
He was fine.
Like 12, and he's always looking down at me to shake hands.
Hey, little buddy.
It's fine. I get it from Pahaska when he gives me a hug too, so I get it.
But no, I do think like
both those guys play a key role.
Yeah. I think Isaac practiced really well that day that I've been there. I've only been back to that practice once. I'll probably try and go next week at some point, just to catch up with him again and see what has shucking out. Lineups like I don't know
what has you pulled a Ravi. What has what out?
What sorted out?
Shaken out.
What did I say?
Shooken
out. Yeah, that's not a word.
That's not a word.
It reminds me of the bit I saw on Def Comedy Jam with somebody was making fun of Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
So I want you to jogatize. He said, "Now, Jesse, you know that isn't a word."
Hey, by the way, I just wanted like a little release for an hour the other night, so I put on Netflix. Earthquake has a hilarious. It's like 48 minutes.
Earthquake, the comedian.
Yes, the special. It's a new. You need to watch it. Like it is really funny, and I like that kind of humor, obviously. So it was.
We are so different. You wanted time away to think you watched the comedy special. I wanted time away. I watched Department Q, which is about homicide and forensics.
It's DB safe space. His murderers.
See, I don't like the whole I can't sit down and watch series and 3-hour movies and 8 episodes of stuff. I don't. My brain isn't calm enough for that.
But I watched 6 straight Law and Order SVUs.
Yeah, that's not. I don't even know what Law and Order SVU is. Much less, I've never seen one.
Chicago PD. I don't know what I was on, but it was not. It was not a good safe space.
I did watch the Owen Hansen documentary though on Amazon the other day.
Yeah,
and the dude that played at USC that was the volleyball player
that dealt all the
cocaine
that traffic coke for the
Holy shit.
Yeah. How does that happen? Well, we know how it happens if you haven't seen. Isn't that's one of the craziest stories ever?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
What's
like,
that? That one's called Cocaine Quarterback, right?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Dealing with like
the cartel,
and he's alive.
Yeah,
he's alive.
That's the shocker, honestly. It's like you could sort of understand how they get into that point. Like it's a little convoluted,
Yeah, but it's
but
how
like
you get out.
Yeah, but the fact that he is alive to tell the story is stunning.
And he repaid $4 million in coke drugs because he made
his body parts.
He made cocaine in a bathtub with Everclear and put it in wine bottles and shipped it to Australia. That's
listen, the cartel was like Googling ways to buy lye in bulk. Do you know what you use lye for? It's to dispose of bodies. I would highly motivated, whether I had to make it in a bathtub, the trunk of my car. I'm going to get that money back to the cartel.
Hey, I've drank stuff out of bathtubs before. That was back in the day when you
jungle juice.
Yeah, that stuff.
For you guys to call it jungle, that is definitely a non-minority thing. We do not drink out of those. No, that's
listen. I drank it out of the bathtub. I never drank it out of a bathtub.
No, Jerome, no. I'm not drinking out of a.
No, we made it in Gatorade buckets.
Same thing.
That's a little more
like
domesticated.
in the big Gatorade buckets.
Yeah, people have once cleansed themselves in the bathtubs that you guys feel are clean.
No, back then I didn't care. I would never do that now.
No, okay.
Yeah. Pass.
Ever.
Pass.
There's also
would you eat day old fried shrimp?
No.
Yes, you would.
Day old fried shrimp?
Unrefrigerated.
Oh, knock it off with the specific.
Fried shrimp? Like with breaded?
Yes.
Unrefrigerated.
Knock it off.
No.
Yes, you would.
Is that a leading question?
It is
That's
too.
relevant context.
How do you warm it up?
You don't. That's why he leaves it out.
That's gross. You know what kind of bacteria is on
right.
that? You did that?
Get out of the stream, Sautter. You served your purpose.
Oh.
No. No.
Hold on.
Okay.
You fried shrimp, like the breaded kind that you did that?
I'm not a big fried shrimp guy anyway. That's not my favorite kind of shrimp. But
I
that's
love
not
shrimp cocktail though. I love that.
That seems like that's more of a holdup for him than the rest of it, which it is for me.
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen,
hey, how bad do you think the Jets are going to lose to the Cowboys on Sunday?
They going to win a game this year?
Man, I don't know.
I'm actually cheering for you guys because I don't want Glenn to get fired.
Nah, I think he's got a little more runway than that, unless they still are committing, 13 penalties a game, and it's all like dumb stuff like Alan Lazard. Okay, how old is Alan Lazard? How many years has that guy been in the league?
I don't know, but you guys keep waiting for him in the NFL to be a competent pass catcher, and I feel like we're 4 years in, and it's just not happening.
He false started.
No, I get it.
From the slot. How the hell do you what?
Wait, from the what?
From the slot. He false started.
Did I mishear that?
No, it sounded like that.
You think I said the other word?
No, just keep it pushing.
No, so that's insane. First of all, and then we had a guy fair catch a ball at the 2, the same guy that fumbled the second half kickoff. What the hell is that guy still doing on the team? It's the NFL.
Can I ask you an unpopular question? Are you over the Braylon Allen experiment? Would you like to not see Breece Hall be the feature guy?
Well, he's hurt now, so yes, I'm okay with that.
Because
Breece is my guy.
I didn't love the alternate. Breece was a guy that was so good. It's let him get in a rhythm.
Yeah, when he was healthy, he was.
And
really,
they're
really
you want to keep him fresh, and then Allen limps off the field, and he had the turnover. But it's I don't know. Play Breece.
Just give him the ball. Give the guy the ball. You have 2 guys that can make plays on the team. 3 quarterback.
I'm not putting my finger in the wound, but can you imagine what happens if you don't have the penalty when you've ran the ball 37 times in a row on that second drive? Do you think you break their spirits?
Yeah, 100%.
And they turn it over inside the 5, and it's now it's game on.
It's just bad. It's just if you look at it, it's kind of bad coaching stuff. So
because of the call where you got the hold, you wanted them to
yeah. Just let it go. I mean, And Justin Fields, please make more than one read in the NFL.
Kind of.
Doesn't process
I
real
don't know if
quick.
he's going to be any different now.
I don't know if that's in the cards. We're pretty deep into this thing with Justin Fields at this point.
Hey, give me.
And I'm pro Justin Fields. So,
Give me Johnny Mateer, New York Jets. Draft that guy. I'm in.
Hopefully,
give me that guy.
Hopefully he's got a good hand specialist.
I'll be all right. Like, if you needed a which one of these quarterback? Like,
I don't love any of them, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
This draft class became poo-poo platter
In a hurry.
In a hurry.
It went from like golden era to
like, do we want any of these guys?
If you have to take one, who are you taking?
I try and convince Dante Moore to come out.
The guy you hated on.
I wasn't as hater on him as I was on some other guys. I was unsure for sure, but I mean,
I told you, I defended you the other day. 4 out of 6 ain't bad.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good ratio. I'll take that. But I mean, so the guys that I missed on were Dante Moore and Mateer. If I'm looking at NFL of guys that are eligible, I think Dante Moore is the guy I got to go with.
This is gonna probably surprise you because he hasn't been horrible. He's just not he hasn't been as productive as he was the second half of last season.
Sellers.
I think you have to take a look at Sellers.
That's fair.
Oh.
That's an upside.
He doesn't turn it over.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know.
I have a really hard time.
You know what I mean?
I do. I have a really hard time with hyper athletic guys that haven't had a ton of production.
Me too, because they typically get hurt. But
I mean, you got more Anthony Richardsons than you do Josh Allen's, right? Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so I really struggle with the prototype of a Lenore Sellers because I don't like my chances of that guy turning into what I need him to. So I'd like if I've got highly productive and a Dante Moore, I'd probably take my chances there.
So you're saying if you're going to take a flyer on someone with like I don't know, fourth,
take
fifth,
a
sixth
flyer
pick?
on a quarterback
in the top few picks? I don't know, man.
Well, we'll probably be like fourth or fifth pick like we are every year.
Wait,
how many?
Wait a minute.
What four teams are going to be worse than you?
Tennessee, maybe.
You're getting the second pick at worst.
Listen,
we play Carolina coming up, though.
He almost got pissed. He said that I didn't.
We play Carolina coming up.
Okay, name 4 teams that are going to be worse than the Jets.
We play Carolina.
So you're going to give me Carolina and Tennessee. I still need 2 more.
Listen, I'm not.
Some will get injured. Well, the Bengals look pretty average right now.
They started with 2 wins. That might be your ceiling.
Nah, I mean, come on. Really?
How many wins do you think you're going to get this year?
There's only 3 winless teams, Jerome, and you're one of them.
I'm not trying to be mean. How many games do you think they actually win this year?
Well, they should have won 2. Beat the Steelers.
Coulda. Like, you got over. Like, you can't give me the.
So tomorrow, if they played at Buell, who's favored, the Saints or the Jets?
Yeah, Saints could be one in there too. There you go. That's another one.
That's 3. We're still short one.
Who's
Tennessee?
The Jets?
I already said. I said Tennessee,
Carolina,
and New Orleans. I need 1 more.
That's 4.
No,
that makes us 4.
I said 4 teams.
He said Cincinnati before.
Cincinnati's not worse.
I'm Team Action Jackson, so I'm not going to stand for the hating on Carolina.
Carolina is at worst a wash. They might be better than you. They might be better.
God, nah.
You feel good about beating the Saints at a neutral site?
No.
Yeah, maybe. Didn't Demario Davis get hurt last week? I think he got hurt. That's former New York Jet Demario Davis, by the way.
You guys.
We'll be. Well, I mean, every year it's like, oh, we're gonna be like this. I already started looking at mock drafts on Tuesday. Okay, like I'm already in it.
As you should.
Wow.
That isn't like you're not.
That's what I do every year. They lose, like, you know. I'm just like, okay, who are we gonna get? Like, where are we gonna be?
Listen, I appreciate the optimism to turn the page that quick and be like, all right, let's figure out the draft.
Can I ask you a quick question, high school, before we let you go, Jerome?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think we have to. Are we doing the?
Sorry, I'm a
we got to
little.
bet on it next.
Yeah,
I'm over. Yeah.
What's your expectation level with Mount Michael and Wahoo?
Mount Michael, seeing them in person, 2 weeks, whenever that was, a couple weeks ago at Lakeview. It was the halftime score was 21-7. The final score was 21-7. Mount Michael is tough and like physical. They're not huge. They're not big. Not sure how they can slow down Wahoo, but I know they'll stay in the fight, and it might not be as big of a number as what Wahoo's done to basically everybody. So I think they'll stay in the fight and fight. The cool thing about Mount Michael that I noticed is they don't wear headsets. Like they're coaching Class C1 football without anyone in the box and no headsets.
Yeah.
So that's a little different, right?
Are you already doing preliminary homework on C1 passing records with what Central City's doing?
I have not looked at that yet, but that's a good call.
Better take a gander.
I'm going to write that down.
There's going to be I don't know who sings the song. Who sings My Love's in Jeopardy? My Love's in Jeopardy.
That's a little too white.
Greg Kindband.
Who?
Greg Kindband.
That is correct.
Wow.
And Shania Twain did sing.
Yeah, you're right on Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's off the Come On Over soundtrack. Or
How did this go from Def Comedy Jam to whatever the hell?
Because you were just using one-liners, and for me, it's always about music or food. So
that's not the right. We don't listen to basically the same music.
No, we listen to a lot of the same music. This is from just me wanting to be a game show player, so I know.
I would say you got some versatility. You got some range.
I do change my music taste. I was listening to CCR on the way to Lincoln last night when I watched a softball game.
Like Proud Mary CCR.
Yeah, stuff like that. Fortunate Son is one of my favorite songs. Not to get political, but that's one of my favorite songs.
Dude, if you don't stop couching takes with calling it political, stop conforming to the rest of these idiots around the country. It doesn't always have to be political.
It's a pretty political song, though.
You can just have an opinion.
I do have an opinion.
Don't stop.
Would you like to share it?
Do you want to know my opinion?
No.
Appreciate the time, Mike. Trying to keep you employed today. All
right.
Mike Sautter.
See you, fuckers.
NebPreps. Appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Dude. Coming up next, we're going to get to Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I just think we look different, and I think it's just been fun to see how 5 new pieces can fit into our system and into our culture, but also understanding we have such a fun and good core that comes back. And so just being able to build on that success of last year, and like I kind of mentioned before, we got a taste of what it's like to play in March, and now giving people let's go win in March, and let's make that the standard, and let's host games at PBA, and let's have some fun with that. And so super excited about what this team can do starting this month. Very crazy. 4 years flies by. I think when they tell you the days are long, the years are short. Now sitting here, it's amen to that. So exciting. I always say I'm living an answered prayer. So it's been awesome.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. It is time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. You can build your bets on the app and then go place them in person in Omaha or Lincoln at their all new and renovated facilities in either city. So make sure you get over to Warhorse Sportsbook. All right, DB, we got some interesting lines this weekend. Some ones that I'm interested in. We talked about a couple of them yesterday with our guy Brian Edwards. The Iowa State Cincy line and the Virginia-Louisville line are just like giant red flags. They're just bright flashing lights.
Yeah, you're a big free money guy.
I'm a bit, but I actually look at these games very differently.
Okay.
So
do tell.
You know how I like the unranked home favorite against a ranked opponent. That's the case in both Cincy and Iowa State, or with Cincy, Iowa State, and Louisville, Virginia. I think that line's actually correct because I think Virginia was overvalued coming off the Florida State win. So I actually want to take Louisville in the -6.5 there.
I would agree.
I think the Iowa State Cincy line is probably – I'm having a hard time because I think Iowa State's really good. I think Cincy's way better than we give them credit for, and that's at Cincy. I am going to take Iowa State there and with my free money line.
I agree.
Oh, look at that.
I agree.
Kumbaya. We're just right. Not quite yet?
Yeah, especially after what I was just telling you during the break. Like, you're not a nice person. I'm in agreement.
Okay.
I unfortunately. God, should I just do something different now because I don't like you?
Here's one. Here's one that I think we might – I don't know if we're going to differ on or not because this is the typical the line doesn't make sense versus do I want my free money one.
You're a big free money guy.
Do you know what – do you have an idea which one I'm thinking of? Big helmet game.
Yes.
Who is it?
Is it Wisconsin, Michigan?
Nope.
Florida, Texas.
Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was one of those two. It looks low, doesn't it?
It looks really low.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Florida is outstanding defensively.
Yeah.
And Texas has had their issues on offense.
Yeah.
Florida is not quite elite defensively.
Really good, though.
But they're really good.
Texas elite defensively.
I actually think the number's right.
Do you?
I do.
Okay, so that's not a big red flag to you because you think matchup-wise that's right.
Yeah, I think I watch these guys a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is elite defensively.
Yeah.
And it's in the swamp.
Yeah.
They'll give themselves a chance.
I think I got to take Texas -4.5 here.
Gun to head?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to take Florida. As a matter of fact, young Ravi.
Are you taking the money line?
I put Texas on outright upset alert.
Ooh, I like it.
I put Texas on outright upset alert.
If you were sowing
take the plus bucks, what is it, 4 or 5? So it's got to be 175.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
I think so.
I think you take a look at the Gators on the money line.
Take a little gander at the money line.
And all of a sudden, you're back in turmoil over Napier.
Yeah, that would be the funniest possible scenario. They win and now they're like,
you have to put Texas on legit upset watch.
Ooh, that's a good one. Another team that maybe not on upset watch, coming off of a big win. Vandy is a 10.5-point dog against Bama, going to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I think the trendy pick will be Vandy. I just like the way Bama's playing.
I think they're a lot better now than they were at the start
I hate to
of
go
the year.
against Team Rezac, but I would lay the 10.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. I think I
get it.
I've been really
Pavi
impressed.
is the Bama killer, but
Simpson's really good.
Their wide receiving core seems to be pretty complete. It's more than just Ryan, and I love Williams.
Yeah.
So
I've been really impressed with Ty Simpson the last couple weeks. All right,
Bama's got some injuries though.
We already did Virginia, Louisville. All right, we're gonna do one more and then my favorite game of the week. Okay.
Okay.
Mississippi State is a 15.5-point dog at A&M. I think Mississippi State's a little lively. I also think Texas A&M's pretty good, and that's at College Station.
Yeah, I would lay the 15. I'll give you all 15 and a half.
You were confident on that one.
I give you all 15.
All right, I'm not going to argue because you answered that.
You
answered that too quick. I don't.
Yeah, I think Marcel Reed is really good. I think they're explosive, and I think it's big for a reason.
You know what the weird thing is here, and I don't even have a good reason. I sort of just want Mississippi State to be good.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean? So I think that's clouding my judgment a little. And I think they gave me enough last week against Tennessee that I'm trying to talk myself into it. But I think you're right. Last one here for the day is Miami is a 4.5-point favorite against Florida State in Tallahassee. Miami's really, really good. I think Florida State's pretty good. I also think that Mario Cristobal is going to lose Miami 1 game a year minimum. I don't know if that's this game or not.
God, that's tough. I like the fact you picked it. I'm gonna lay the number and take the Canes. I think they're pretty complete. I'll take the Canes. I don't love it, but since you put it on the slate,
it's a good game, and it's an intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna log on to the Homer Network and take Florida State.
Yeah, I like Washington, and if you want an out,
I'll say, do you have any extras?
Another outright winner that's getting a substantial amount of points? You're gonna be like, what in the world are you looking at? I don't think UTSA should be laying 6.5 to Temple. I think the Owls went outright.
Do you have any feelings about Washington, Maryland?
Washington will cover.
Okay.
Washington is for real.
Washington's pretty good.
That was a really, really good defensive team they saw.
Yeah.
And I get it going across the country, but
that was a 14-6 game against Ohio State going in the fourth. That's a good Washington team.
Ohio State's elite defensively.
Yeah, that's a good Washington team.
I like Washington.
All right.
I think if you want to lay a big number that's not a big number against a team that's flying under the radar.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think Pitt laying 6.5 to a visiting Boston College.
Ooh, okay. You like Pitt there?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Boston College is pretty bad.
I have a hard time seeing why it's only 6.5, but I get it. It's, close to regional matchup. It's conference. I like the Panthers.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with
Boston
you there.
College is going to have.
They're pretty bad. I don't think Boston College is very good at football.
Like the Panthers.
That is Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. That's where we're going to end the show today. Going to leave that with our, as you called it yesterday, our 10 men on the field. So that's the show for today. We appreciate you guys joining us. We love you guys, and we'll be back on Monday with more Hurrdat Sports Live.